Hello and welcome to this, the Iron Dinos Year in Review Big Spectacular. I'm here with Adam.
Yo!
And I'm here with Jason.
Hello.
And back from the dead is Cameron.
Hello.
And reaching us from the furthest reaches of space is John.
Hello.
Bit delay on that one.
It's...
Well, I'm in space. It's like, you can't expect it. It's got to go all the way to space.
Yeah, we've got a load of past dinos with us and we're very happy to have them back. So, this is a year in review. We talk about various topics, what our favourite thing of that topic is for the year. We ramble a bit, have a bit of banter. So without any further ado, what was... Oh, I should probably mention, we're doing this in alphabetical order. So, Adam, Cameron, Jason, John, then me. Had to think there. So... Adam, if you'll start us off with your film of the year. Best film you have seen this year. Doesn't have to have been released this year, but you have to have seen it this year. Go.
Best film. I shall scroll down because I wasn't expecting best film.
I thought we were doing best game first.
He did say best game before we started.
Oh, wait, it is meant to be guest game. I'm so sorry, I was looking at the wrong line on my spreadsheet.
Oh, good. You totally panicked me then. Okay.
Quality production.
Absolutely. Adam, best game, please.
Oh, that's much better. I've got that in front of me. Fantastic. Okay, yes, my best game is Raft. Raft is an open world survival video game. The platforms, you can get it on multiple platforms. It's PlayStation 4, Xbox, Microsoft, Mac operating systems, Linux even. The publishers are Axolot Games.
Who the fuck would play that on Linux?
I mean, SteamOS is Linux, isn't it? So I guess, in a way.
And it's basically a survival video game. You start on a little tiny bit of raft and you got to collect trash from the sea and build up your raft. There's a story mode if you want to go into it, and it's more of a you go to a certain island to start the story mode off if you want to, but you don't have to, so that's quite a nice little thing. So it's absolutely fantastic. It's really, really good fun.
Cool. I didn't realise the extent of it until I saw a recent NerdCube video on it. And he's like, you can build your raft up to basically be a gigantic floating city.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I thought you could just build a slightly bigger raft and stuff, but no, he's got like cathedrals and all sorts of crazy shit.
See, it's interesting because I've only seen people try and break the game in Raft.
Right.
Just create the longest rafts they can, see if they can go across the globe and meet up the other side of their raft. It never works, but it's always a fun thing to watch.
Me and John are currently trying to make a cruise liner. So ours is pretty big at the minute.
Ooh, very nice.
Oh, very cool.
Do you have a cold storage for the bodies?
Not yet. We don't have any cold storage. But however, Raft's pretty good. The only difference is, the only problem with it is because the developer hasn't updated the encryption. There's a massive security risk in it. So they really need to fix that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a few problems. Like not many games get the water mechanics correct, and every now and then, basically, you start with a hook to grab all the trash from the sea, and when you throw it in the sea, it sometimes does weird things with the water and the item. But it's a small issue you can go over. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty damn good.
Cool. Cameron, what's your game of the year, mate?
My game of the year was unequivocally the game of the year. I've only played 2 this one. So I was under the impression it was new games that you played this year. Now, I don't enjoy playing the role of victim in role-playing games, but Elden Ring is probably the most fun I've had playing a game in a very long time. It sates the itch. Now, I will say this with the preface of the only reason I bought Elden Ring was because of the potential for an Armored Core game being the next FromSoft game, if Elden Ring was successful enough. And it fucking happened, and I feel I was justified in my purchase. Now, does that mean I didn't enjoy Elden Ring as I played it? Not at all. does it mean that this conversation is pointless because Armored Core is on the horizon for next year? Absolutely. Because if we do this next year and everyone's favourite game wasn't Armored Core 6, I will not be coming back again. And that's not a threat, that's a promise.
Well, Cam, I can tell you now, Armored Core will not be my favourite game of the year next year, so you can fuck off now.
Go fuck yourself. But yeah, so I really enjoyed Elden Ring. I think it beat out Monster Hunter as my favourite game this year. And I mean, whilst the mechanics are the same, I quite enjoyed the open world aspect as opposed to actually relying on people online to help me.
Yeah.
I got into a friendly competition with my mate about who could complete it the fastest and all of that stuff. And I just enjoy building. I'm a sucker for big numbers, and I enjoy making classes that hit big numbers. And Elden Ring sort of lets you do that in loads of various ways. Now, dodge mechanics have never. Well, I mean, until I played Monster Hunter, dodge mechanics were never something I understood. But I get timing. I understand the rhythm of games now. So I reckon if I picked up a fighting game, I'd probably be really good at it now because I understand what the rhythm is because of Elden Ring. But yeah, that is my game of the year.
Nice. Is it truly open world, or is it like, does it funnel you in?
No. You can. So the areas are gated by level and ability, but you could absolutely go to a high level area at the very start of the game and just get your shit pushed in more so than you normally would by the game.
Yeah. Okay. I like it when it is truly open world, because like some games, it says it's open world and it seems open world, but it really does funnel you into an area.
Yeah, like GTA 4, giving you 6 stars if you leave the first island before you unlocked it. Absolutely ridiculous. That's not open world. That's proper shit.
Yeah.
Jason,
You can go there.
what's your game of the year, mate?
My game of the year, if it was going to be what I played most of, it'd probably be either Gotham Knights or Red Dead Redemption or Fall Guys, but it's not that. It is a puzzle game, which was The Pedestrian, which is
yeah.
I don't know if you. It's basically set in a 3D world, but all of the action takes place on signage. You play like a stick figure on the road signs and that sort of thing in a 2D environment. Very straightforward, black and white. But you can move the signs around next to each other and link them up to get to the end, really. So you just sort of move your character from one door to another and solve puzzles as you go. And I thought that was difficult enough that it kept me guessing. There was a time when I stopped playing for a little bit because I just couldn't do one. Went back, did it fine. But yeah, it really kept me intrigued, and there's a lot of it. It's not like a little simple, 2-hour affair. It goes on. There's lots of levels. Yeah, really good fun puzzle game. Very intuitive, you know what you're doing. Except for when you don't, you just work it out for months.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
in the end, it's a good
basically,
game.
each of these panels has a section of if you want to call it a platforming area, or
Yes.
a path, and you have to link
Exactly.
the various panels together. So you go out the end of one, come in the end of the other, and what you need to do is get from one end to the door at the other side. And sometimes you have to pick up a key, and sometimes you have to traverse
Exactly.
peril, all stuff like that. I played it as well. It was really, really fun.
Ah, good.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
well. That's good because I was going to ask how the fuck does a puzzle game work when you're just assigned? That makes sense.
No, you
Thanks,
have
that's
to create a
puzzle.
path.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. No, that sounds cool. I might give it a go. I think I'm hitting the era of I'm beyond AAA's. I want to play some nice
God,
cozy games.
Yeah, I'm there.
Does the background
I'm so
change
glad you didn't
between
put Gotham
sides?
Knights, or there was going to be a 40-minute argument about why you're not allowed to have that as your game of the year.
We've done that. So yeah, the background does change. It's sort of set across. It's quite a semi-realistic depiction of a city, and you go into all different areas of it, like back alleys and main high-rise things, all over the place, really.
But
it's
that's
not that
literally
important to the
background.
game.
Yeah.
I know it's back. But it's more detailed than the actual signage, but the signage is what you're using to traverse the things. But sometimes you can sort of move the signs to link up with real life elements like electrical wires and things, which then change things within the 2D environment and that sort of thing. So it plays a little part, but mostly you're on the 2D background. But yeah, I thought it was lots of fun.
Oh, cool.
And it taxed me a little. It taxed me just enough that it made me feel clever when I did it.
Didn't frazzle your brain. Yeah, it was quite good.
No, only when I got caught on it and just had to go back like 3 weeks later or whatever it was. So
I really enjoyed that one too. It was on Game Pass for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, really good.
Cool. John, what have you got, mate?
So this was a year when I probably played less games than any other year. Back to work, doing that kind of stuff. So probably, I played 2 games this year. Settlement Survivor, which is a bit like a city builder game where you have to build houses and grow your population, go out and fish and eventually trade, and that was quite fun for a few hours. But probably the game that I've played the most is Valheim, because honestly, who doesn't like being a Viking going around killing things?
Me.
There's always one.
Nah, that's a lie. I feel like I just couldn't get into Valheim. Sorry, I'll let you go on about why you enjoy playing it. Oh, you said already, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what
it is.
Can you explain it?
Yeah, explain the game.
It's just a good, multiplayer game. There's a building element to it, crafting, and you can build fantastic cities, and decorate them. And the boss fights are good. They're not really. You don't have to repeat them, but you can just continue playing. And obviously, it's been added to by the devs. I think it was like pretty much. It did win a Game of the World, Game of the World. Shit, I can't even talk.
Game of the Year.
Game of the Year award for something. I can't remember what it was exactly. So that was good. But yeah, it's a thoroughly enjoying game, and I'd tell everybody to try it.
Yeah, I've had a muck around with it. I've tried it a couple of times. It's quite good. I do want to get more into it. Loads of people have said they've played it and enjoyed it, so it's clearly a good game. Is that one truly open world as well?
Yeah. You're free to roam wherever you want to go. The map is absolutely massive.
Isn't it procedurally generated? I feel like it's random each sort of like instance that you get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, every map is procedurally generated. But yeah, you can obviously get other people's seed.
Yeah.
And trying it.
You trying out other people's seeds, are you?
I haven't. You probably would like it though. You guys did like a bit of my seed.
Yeah, of course, baby.
Is there a story element in it, or is it all sort of building and survival?
Well, it's not so much story. There are bosses that you have to beat.
Okay.
So I wouldn't really call it a story.
I'm just looking at some images. Is it like a third-person view?
Yeah.
As opposed to like an overhead thing? Yeah, okay. Cool. I'm more inclined to try that then. I might give that a go.
And lastly, mine. This was largely a 2-horse race, and largely from the start of the year as well. Although I will say, I've been playing Ghost Song for the last few weeks, and if I'd finished it, I think it would have been a strong contender, because it's fucking fantastic. But no, ultimately coming in a close second was Infernax, which was an insane 2D kind of Castlevania like game with like multiple playstyles and multiple endings. You just keep finding more shit in this game. It's fucking awesome. But I ultimately had to go with Tunic because, unlike Infernax, I've played other things like it, and you can sit and you can play, like anyone can play Infernax. There's an easy mode, like anyone can sit and do that, and it's not going to ask any more of you than a game of its type. Whereas Tunic is, I would say, art. Like, a lot of people are saying the same of Elden Ring. Tunic not only is an absolutely phenomenal action adventure game, but there's the whole meta element of having to find the pages of the manual and ultimately realizing that the pages of that manual hide a deeper, more obscure puzzle, and having to do that and realizing that the game has even more hidden elements and more obscure puzzles that you need to get this very final thing. Its story is told in a non-linear fashion, but you can pick up the bits that you're missing from the book, from the manual as you collect it. And then when you finally get the true ending, it's one of the most heartwarming things I've perhaps ever played in a game. It made me well up a little bit. It's so incredibly beautiful. I've bought the soundtrack. You can buy on Bandcamp. I think I bought it from. Pretty sure it was Bandcamp. Half of that's on my playlist in my car. So it sounds amazing. It's just the right level of challenge. Like, it's always keeping a bit one step ahead of where you are power-wise. So anything can potentially kill you at any point if you drop your guard. But for the most part, you will. If you just kind of got your sense about it, you will be able to walk around with relative impunity. Then you hit a boss and it will fucking murder you. But yeah, like, there's so many obscure elements, like the leveling system. I defeated the first big boss in the game, which was incredibly hard before I realised that the leveling thing even existed. And I found it by chance, by experimentation, and that's what the game is doing you. Like, the manual will show you these things you can do, and it will in a slightly oblique way tell you how you can do them, but there's no English in it, so it's all this made up language, which apparently I've now learned you can actually translate. Like, each symbol is a letter of the alphabet.
You translated it, didn't you?
No, I did not. No, I did not. But I went through the manual, I made that fucking map, and that was... when I got the final thing, that was tough enough. But no, it's just such an incredible game. I think everyone should play it. And that is my game of the year. Did any of you play that? It was on Game Pass. I did with a lot of these things on Game Pass, what I like to do is I'll play it. If I love it, like Infernax and thing, I'll then just pay for it. Because it's like giving them a little tip at the end. It's like, here you go, here's 20 quid. Thank you, I love your game. I will come back to it. I'm sorry, so did anyone else play that one?
No, but that sounds interesting. I might throw it on my list.
It's truly amazing.
I probably got to that first boss, or maybe just slightly after that, but the
Guardian thing.
I don't know.
That was hard.
Yeah, I can't. It's so long ago now. I don't remember, but yeah, it seemed like a really good game. I was enjoying it. I was thinking I was getting away with killing everything to start with, and then it ramps up a little bit, but not too much.
Yep.
But I just think it fell off what I was playing. I think we had to do another video about something else or something, and I ended up playing something else, and then never went back. I'm assuming I've still got it if I can play it again. Yeah,
fair enough.
But yeah, I very pretty, as you say, nice music, everything moved well. Really enjoyed it. Well, what I played
it was one that took me months to complete, because I normally only have one game on at a time. I don't like flitting between different games, but I beat the main part of it, and you kind of instinctively know there's more, and it shows you a bit more. So that I was playing something else. I'm like, I've got an hour. I think I'll put another hour into Tunic, and then I've got to find the last of these fairies. I'll just put another hour into Tunic and stuff like that. It's what I kept going back to over months. It's a wonderful game.
It's a sign of a good game, to be fair.
Absolutely.
They keep drawing you back in. I had the correct choice, by the way, as chosen by the Cheers, guys.
Are we doing that, are we? Okay.
And now we move on to our best game with gold. Adam, what's your pick, mate?
Okay, this was quite a difficult choice for me.
You hated all of them
over the year. Yeah, and I enjoyed a lot of them this year, but not like fully. So I had to pick one that I kept sort of going back to, and that was Hydrophobia. It was May. May Games with Gold. The developer is Vector Unit, and it was a 2010 game, so it's quite an old one. The reason I really enjoyed it was they got the water mechanics quite good in it, even though sometimes you get a little blip in you see the join line sometimes in the water mechanics, but it's correct with how water should be. And the storyline was absolutely fantastic. When I got to the end of part 1, it is part 1, there's meant to be 3 parts, found out it no longer got continued, so I was really upset. But Hydrophobia as an actual game is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, really, really good fun. Anybody played that one?
Yeah.
I got about 2/3 of the way through it, and something else come up that got in the way of me completing it. But no, really, really liked what I played. Yeah, really pleasantly surprised.
I remember getting
I'd never heard of it before. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I can't remember. When we talked about it on the channel before, and I think you two liked it a lot, and I was like, I should like it. It's the sort of game I tend to like. It's sort of puzzly. It's also third person. I don't mind swimming in games. A lot of people don't like swimming in games. This was fine. I don't know, there's something off about it I didn't get with. Can't remember what the problem was now. In my mind, it was a good game. And I had a wonderful time, but I remember being a little bit irked at it. So I've certainly. I don't think I finished it. Irked. You don't want to see me when I'm irked.
I mean, I don't know if it just gave me memories of old games I played in the past because of like the graphics and stuff. But yeah, it's just a really good, fun game. I just kept going back to it, trying to complete all the like little achievements that you get with these games. And yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. Really upsetting. I can like carry on the story. So yeah, that's my pick.
Awesome. Cameron, did you play any of the games of
Yo.
gold this year?
Absolutely fucking not. I've just had to quickly look up the list of games we've got.
You're honest.
So
Hey,
I'm
that's
gonna listen. I'm gonna pick this based purely on the nostalgia. Now, I have arguments. There was a pretty solid string of games with gold from May, I will say, up until September. In fact, I think it was an incredible string of games. You had Viva Pinata, Super Meat Boy. Don't know what the fuck Rascals is, but you had Thrillville Off the Rails, Torchlight, Saints Row 2. Now listen, if you'd asked me 4 or 5 years ago, I would struggle to pick any of these. Because these are all fantastic games. But based on the fact that I didn't play any of these recently, I'm going to have to go with Thrillville, just the original Thrillville that came out in September.
Oh, wow.
That for me, very nostalgic title. I used to play that, and now this is Xbox Games for Gold. I'm about to say something absolutely, what's the word? Blasphemous. There we go. Got there in the end. But I used to play it on the PlayStation with my cousins in Scotland, and so it was a really good time for me. And we used to do the stuff that Thrillville Off the Rails sort of lets you do. But
yeah.
obviously in Thrillville, it didn't let you do it. You were just murdering people.
Yeah.
When you had the incompleted rides. But
Yeah.
Thrillville, I just think was a great game. I think it's really fun. Oh, Monaco's on here. Monaco's also a really fun game. Yo, this is tough. What?
Yeah, right.
That's why very hard.
That's why I struggled to pick one. So,
yeah. No, fair enough. What I would say is, anyone interested, you need to play all of those games from like May up until September. Any of the other games mentioned as well. Viva Pinata is a must. That was the first game I ever fully completed.
That was
on
quite
an
fun.
Xbox.
Oh, wow.
That was the first game I ever got 1,000 gamer score on.
Sweet.
So yeah, I remember that it came in a double box with the Xbox with Forza 2, I believe. You had a double CD that was Forza 2 and Viva Pinata. Yeah, but I would just recommend any of those games that I listed off because they are all fantastic games.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Jason,
that's me.
is yours a single game or a 4-month stretch of games? Or where are you going with, mate?
My game is just one game. There was a lot of good games though, to be fair. But the one
Cameron
I
is dead
chose,
right. We had a good run there.
we did.
Yeah.
And amongst this was Hue, which I think
Oh, nice.
is my favourite of. It's another puzzle platformer, a 2D one, very simple, black and white, but the gimmicky, well, not gimmick, what's the word? Mechanic is that you can change the colour of the background, and that deletes certain foreground elements that then, I think, deceptively simply, just creates wonderful little puzzles to get through. I think it's just the right length. I think it had a lovely story, great music, great voice acting for what there was. Didn't give you too much information, but let you work out on your own. I picked it up again yesterday just to see, try and remind myself how to play, and then just carried on playing again. I realised I'd still had 2 of those little things to find that you get sort of secret areas to find. What they call it, like little science flasks type things. And so I will be going back later today to try and get the remaining 2 of those. It's really fun, I find, and because it's been so many months since I last played it, I couldn't remember how to solve the puzzle, so it was like starting all over again yesterday, and it was really fun. So I would highly recommend Hue.
Yeah, I remember playing that. Really, really good fun. Still struggling to find all those little findables. Those little,
the flasks.
I forget that's it. The
That's
flasks.
the word I
Yeah,
was
still.
looking
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, still struggling to find all those. I think I'm up to like 20 or something like that, and yeah, I'm still struggling. But yeah, great game, absolutely fantastic game. Loved it.
I'm with you guys. I beat it, didn't quite get all the I think I'm missing 6, and I just couldn't be asked to go through the whole thing again to find them.
It's quite fun.
Yeah, it's an absolutely delightful game. I had other things to play, but yeah, that was an absolutely wonderful game.
Nice.
Indeed.
John, have you been playing the games, keeping up with the games of gold this year?
I can answer that very precisely. I cancelled my Xbox subscription, so no.
Oh,
Oh no.
That's
Drama.
the first time in probably about 10 to 15 years that I haven't really been playing Xbox games at all, and I thought this really isn't worth it. So I cancelled it.
Oh wow.
you moved more onto PC? Or?
Yeah, I'm doing well. The games that I am playing, it's on PC. I played a little bit of Nintendo Switch. Yeah, because I bought one of those.
Yeah.
That was probably a bit of a mistake. But it just goes to show, obviously on Nintendo, I just bought the online system of that. Played about 2 hours in 3 months, so that was worth it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great unless you're playing the retro games on it. I've got it for the N64 games that I never got around to playing, but yeah, using it for online play is really not good.
I think the only time you really want to use it for online play is Mario Kart and Smash
Yeah.
Bros. Or at least from what I've seen.
And I'm not
Yeah, I might
I'm
be
not singling out Xbox because I've also ditched my PlayStation Plus and
Oh wow.
Yeah.
actually managed to kill my PS4. So I'll probably have to buy a new one of them.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Was that before or after you cancelled the PlayStation Plus?
It was before, but then it tried to do a software update and it didn't look like it was doing anything. So after about an hour, I thought this should have finished by now, and I just pulled the plug out the back because I need to go.
Oh.
It's one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? Funny enough, I actually had the same thing with my PS4 this year. I did an update after God knows how long, and it completely fucked it. I had to go onto Sony's website. You can download to a USB stick a bootable version of the OS
Yeah.
and completely reset it. I had to do that in the end to fix it. It was very concerning.
Yeah, I mean, I killed my PS4 about 2 months ago. Still not fussed about it.
Yeah.
I'll just buy a new one.
Have you played actually any of the games of gold from the past? Because obviously they weren't technically released
Okay,
this year.
I was going to say, we'll allocate John Hydro Thunder Hurricane. I seem to recall you always enjoyed playing that with us.
okay.
Oh yes, yeah, you played that one. I was going to pick that one actually. That was a close second for me. I've really enjoyed that.
You like hydro games, don't you?
Yeah. My list, kind of like Cameron's actually, my list is largely stuff that's kind of cancels itself out because I've played it before in the past. Hydro Thunder Hurricane, Portal 2, Saints Row 2 and Super Meat Boy, all unbelievable games, but I didn't play them for the first time this year. I've played more of Saints Row 2, but mine surprised me. It was Yoku's Island Express. I played a little bit for mine and Adam's video. I played about an hour before we recorded that. And I liked it, and I thought, I'm never going to think of this again, but it was fun. And then I completed... I needed a little something to play between completing Saints Row and Gotham Knights coming on, and Yoku's Island Express just took my fancy, and I 100%ed it. I absolutely... When I gave it the time to not just be... I have to play this for the channel, to just, I'll play 5 minutes and this will just keep me entertained. And then I'd realise I'd sat there for like 3 hours. It's just like, no, I just need to beat this one more table and then I can save and move on. That's a sign of a really great Games of Gold. And yeah, I just loved absolutely everything about it. I'd heard about it before because I'm a big fan of Metroidvania style games where you power up your character, which gives you access to more areas of the map. I'm a fan of that kind of game, but I'm not really a fan of pinball. But they merged absolutely perfectly here. Also, it's ridiculous. There's not a lot of story to it, but what there is very, very funny and charming. So, yeah, I really, really liked that one. Very surprise hit for me.
Yeah, I was surprised by that one. There's lots of little sort of side mini puzzles that you don't necessarily have to do, and yeah, you can sort of dive into those and just keep doing them and getting better and better and better. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. Really, really good.
And now we move on to best video and/or series on the channel. This can either be the thing you most enjoyed watching or the thing you most enjoyed making or whatever. So, Adam, you're in the hot seat.
Hi.
What was yours?
Yeah. Again, difficult choice because we've done a fair few, but
we've also done some crap.
I've kind of got to go with our Portal 2 series.
Oh, you prick!
Wonderful.
Sorry.
Did I just take a load of people's choices? Sorry.
Yep.
I had to go for this one because it came on with Games of Gold, and then we decided to carry it on as a series because there was a whole multiplayer level section to it. And yeah, I've just been having a whale of a time playing through that with Sean, and just the puzzles are just the right level to frustrate you, but they're like doable. And it's one of those that if you think too hard about a certain puzzle, like you can just get totally lost in trying to do these crazy ass things. When it's the solution, should I say, is a lot easier than what it would previously seem. And the whole mechanic of the portals is like, you could do so much with that, absolutely so much, and they have done that in this game to the full extent. It's absolutely a fantastic game. It really is a good game.
Yeah, I agree. It was the part of Portal 2 I hadn't played before, so I was really happy to be playing that. But also, it's the first time you and I have probably done a bigger scale project with just the two of us, and I think it's really working. I'm having a really great time playing it with you as well, so that's been a huge positive. It's not my pick, but it has been a huge positive.
I've enjoyed watching it and play. Well, I haven't played the co-op, but I have played the main game, so I enjoy that. So it's been nice to watch the other side of it.
It's quite nice that you got like a change between the story levels and the multiplayer levels. That's quite interesting to me. Quite a lot of games, they do the story mode as a multiplayer, so you can do it single or you can do it multiplayer. Whereas this, they've chosen to do a whole different set of levels just for the multiplayer. That's quite good. I like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When Valve, on the rare occasion Valve release one of their own games, they put maximum effort into it.
And this is a 2011 game. It still holds up. It's really good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the game engine that Valve use is incredible in terms of actually like still looking good,
Yeah.
despite no real major updates or changes to it from time of release of the games. It's just it hits this very nice sweet spot of it has a very specific style that is almost timeless, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, Cameron, do you want to go, or should we skip straight to Jason?
Yeah, I'll go. So my favourite thing to watch was Portal 2. If you just want to, over the video editing, just put in everything Adam just said and just place that here, that'd be great. We can, stretch out the runtime of this section. It look cool. It sound nice. But no, I really enjoy watching playthroughs of Portal 2, especially with people that know each other, because it's always fun watching friendships break down, I find.
I don't know Adam as well as Jason, so I have to be much nicer to him than I normally take a more antagonistic role with Jason to make it more fun, but I can't do that with that. He might take it personally or think I'm not joking.
Nah.
Oh, is it supposed to be fun when you do that?
You guys got a good rapport going with that game. It's always fun, especially knowing how the puzzles are meant to be solved. It's just fun watching people's brains like tick over as they figure it out. I've not watched the last couple. I'm not sure if you're at the movement-based ones yet, the momentum-based puzzles yet, but
Oh yeah.
We've
have got
played
to
some of
those
them.
are-
I don't know if they've been released yet.
those are particularly fun puzzles to watch people try and figure out, I find.
I remember there was one like you had to bounce across the room several times and split yourselves up.
That is my favourite puzzle in the entire game. You have one person shooting, dictating where someone's getting launched at high speed.
Yeah. And I remember we got to a stage where we had to get Sean back to the beginning area to then just finish it off, and the solution was so simple. It was so simple. It was just to simply walk through the beginning portal, but for some reason we just did not think of it, and we just kept like shooting portals everywhere which way, and like these bridges coming left, right and centre, and it was just like, how do we do that? Yeah, we got totally stuck. It was frustrated as hell, but yeah, it was really satisfied when we suddenly went, oh dude, you could just walk through the portal.
No, it's great. It's a great game. It's a great co-op game.
Really is. I'm so glad I finally got to play it, because I don't like to... There's certain things I'll always have in the back of my mind, I'll play that one day, so I'll never watch a Let's Play or anything of it, and that this was one of those things. I'm like, one day I'll eventually play, so I don't want to see the puzzle, so it's great that I get to play it fresh. Jason, what say you, mate?
I say, I've chosen a series that I liked very much, and that was Pause Button, which is PAWS, Pause Button. Which is basically one thing I like about Sean is he's very decisive quite quickly. He's quite passionate about things, but he's open to changing his mind if he finds something new about it. And it seems that this is basically a series of videos where the only deciding factor about what's in it apparently is it a relatively free or cheap game to play, and does it contain an animal? And that's all you need. And then so you just could get anything from week to week on this one, and it was like fish games and cat games and that budgie one, bird one, whatever it was, skatebird. I liked just seeing your immediate reaction to what in a lot of cases seemed like quite cheap games, but some of them were charming and you got so delighted by them, and other ones you just ranted on about and hated, and it was a pleasure to watch. And also,
Simulator.
I ended up playing some of them as well, so that was good.
Oh god, don't talk about this in there.
Fucking hell. Yeah, that series only really wrapped up because I ran out of things on Game Pass to play.
Yeah.
So and like doing the whole like picking a different thing on a Friday to stop because of that. So probably midway through next year that'll come back.
Hey,
Just let them build up a bunch of games. I'll record a few here and there, and yeah, that was fun to do. Thank you, Jason.
oh, it literally was my pleasure.
John, what about you, matey?
Well, I mean, it's been a outstanding, 2.5 years since I left. So the game that I feel that I've contributed the most to Iron Dinos, and the one that the fans really do love and appreciate, is the Pac-Man game, which is the most viewed video on the channel.
Right.
It's me, Jason, and Cam bringing it on. Give the fans what they want.
You can't see right now, but I'm doing muscle man poses.
Yeah, there you go.
I am legitimately slightly salty about that.
Slightly.
No, to be fair, that's a very good video. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't even think it's our best video,
No.
because obviously they would contain me.
That was you three. That was you three in a room together, right?
I think that was like the first recording or something,
That was the
wasn't it?
first game we played when I met Cam for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from there.
And it was recorded in the room where I am now. Slightly less cat toys were in the room. But yeah, that was also the recording session. That was the first and only, to my knowledge, recording session with multiple people in the same room. But it's the same one where we recorded that blooming awful cactus game.
Oh,
That was a good
I
game.
absolutely hated.
the fighter that didn't make any sense.
I can't even think what it's called now. Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Oh, I blocked that out of my memory. I forgot that was recorded on the same day.
So Pac-Man 256, is it?
Yeah,
I think so.
256.
Yeah.
Should know that working in computing.
You also bought us kebabs on that day, I think, John. So
I
thank
did.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I did. It was a very good kebab as well. You hyped it up, but it lived up to the hype. It was good.
Then I had to drive Cam home, which took ages.
Yeah, it did.
Have you learned how to drive yet, Cam?
Have I fuck? No. I get bullied by my girlfriend. She keeps calling me a passenger princess because I can't drive.
That Pac-Man, by the way, that's up to 12k views already. Just saying.
Yeah. I don't understand what's. I mean, I do. It's the sheer brilliance that is me, but I don't understand.
Don't
how.
sell yourself short there, Cam. You know?
And mine was the epic that was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection video. I spent 2 days playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games from the 90s. It was fucking awesome.
Nice.
It's a great collection, to be fair. A lot of those games are better than I remember them being. And, you know, I play through the arcade game once every couple of years anyway. I've got it on my PC, now I've got it on my Xbox. So, yeah, that was really fun. Earlier, it started, I think the first idea I had was to do the montage of all the intros, because, like, it was always really exciting to have that attract mode when you were a kid and they were playing the Turtles theme and it was always a bit different and stuff. So yeah, I made that for the end. And also I was gonna stick Shredder's Revenge in it because that is just remaking those kind of things, but I just released that a couple of weeks earlier, so I couldn't be bothered to put it back in. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing the games for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection video, and that was really fun. It was a fucking nightmare to edit. It took ages to edit, but really, really fun to play.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. I can hear that theme tune now. It's all come back to me.
That's just like pure nostalgia, isn't it? That's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
childhood. Yeah.
Alright, it's good. In the meantime, though, I would like to say an honorary mention.
Ooh.
I'm enjoying watching the Metroid games. It's this equal part of lore, and not just in-game lore, but also surrounding lore that is just sort of thrown in.
Yeah.
And I think it does well to disguise the insanity that is caused by going through a Metroid game.
Yeah, right.
Just repeating sessions. But yeah, I just enjoy it. I enjoy a good what is now classed as a Metroidvania. I do enjoy them.
Yeah, me too.
I enjoy watching them. I fucking hate playing them. I couldn't even get to the first boss in Hollow Knight, if we're being honest, because I'm fucking stupid. so I enjoy watching them.
That's yeah. I made the decision to finish a bunch of series we'd left hanging midway through the year, and so I had to re-record the entire back end of everything that you're seeing now in the Metroid I thought was done and dusted, and all of those recording fucked, so I had to do all of it again, which was great because I got to play the game some more. But it's if I have to redo something, I immediately lose interest in it. And it took me like 8 months to get that interest back.
No, that's fair.
Oh, and since no one else has mentioned it, it was my second was obviously Adam's ginormous 100 subs when we were over 150 subs special. That is the most effort and work of any video that has ever been on the channel. But I just wanted to give the nod to my own work rather than Adam's. no, that is a spectacular. That is a spectacular video that Adam did so much work on, and really is the correct answer for this category. So we all should have gone with that. So, Adam, once again, thank you for your incredible effort on that job, mate. And if you haven't, go watch that video. It's unbelievable. And now we're moving away from video games and on to best movies. Yes, we're actually doing it this time. Adam, what is the best movie you saw this year?
Adam,
So-
before you start, Adam, right? The first two things that you picked were water-based games. If you pick a water-based movie like Waterworld or something like that, that's it. I'm leaving.
What can I say about Waterworld?
Big Water's paying him off. He's taking money under the table.
You'll be pleased to know, no, it is not water-based. I struggled between two, so I'm going to do a special mention and then my best movie because I cannot decide for the life of me. The special mention is...
We'll decide for you.
is a movie that I didn't even know existed until I just stumbled across it. And it's They Call Me Renegade. It's starring Terence Hill, and it's about this drifter who goes to see his friend in prison, and this guy in prison basically dumps his rambunctious son on him. I think the son is Ross Hill. I think it's literally his son. In real life, that is. And yeah, it's just this fantastic action comedy, and it's just about these two characters going along trying to avoid trouble, trying to get to this bit of land that the dad's won in a card game. And it's just absolutely fantastic watch. And I'm embarrassed to say I didn't even know who Terence Hill was. I didn't even know the movie They Call Me Renegade. I didn't know anything. But since then, I've watched a bunch of Terence Hill movies, and he's really good. He is really good. So yeah, that's my special mention. But the actual movie is following on from last year's, actually. And last year's pick was Enola Holmes. So this year was Enola Holmes 2. And
Don't spoil it, because I've not seen it yet.
I won't spoil it. I will not spoil it. But this carries on from where the last movie left off. She's in the city.
Looks like you're about to spoil it.
I'm not.
Stop
I'm not. This,
You know what? Wait,
this is the
Adam.
plot.
Adam. I'll solve it for you. She solves the crime, John.
Or does she?
You just
But no, she takes on her first detective case, and obviously a lot of interaction with her brother Sherlock, and it's
no Superman. Brother's not Sherlock Holmes. It's Superman.
No,
Oh, actually, no, it
he's
isn't anymore, is it?
no longer Superman.
no,
Oh,
Superman for like a weekend again.
yeah,
Wouldn't you want to be Superman for a weekend?
Yeah.
yeah, kind of. But yeah, it's got some fantastic actors in it, and they just make it really a fantastic watch. I mean, you got Millie Bobby Brown. She plays Enola Holmes. You got Henry Cavill, obviously, as Sherlock Holmes. You got Helen Bonham Carter as the mum, and
Can I just get this out, because I've been holding this in for years, but I would do terrible things to Helena Bonham Carter. I think she's fucking beautiful, and I've always thought that, and I don't know why, and it scares me a little bit. But that's that. Thank you.
I don't know why as well.
no, I'm with you, Cam, on that one. I'm totally with you on that one.
I couldn't explain why. I just do.
I think she's fantastic as an actress as well. She's absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah, she's an incredible actress.
Yeah, but yeah, Enola Holmes too. Definitely go watch it. It's absolutely fantastic. It really is good.
I really enjoyed it. I think, you know, I hadn't watched the first one, but I mean, it gives you all the context you need at the start of the film, basically. So
yeah.
I thought it was fun. Like it was a fun film.
Yeah.
And I mean, I enjoy watching films like that and trying to guess, what's actually happened here, and getting it horribly wrong every fucking time. It's great.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought it was good, clean fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't sound like good, clean fun the way that Cam wants to watch it, but
That's for a private room.
Cameron, go ahead, mate. The floor is yours.
Oh, okay, listen. So like you said, Adam, you have the excuse of age, I don't. I fucking forget things a lot, quite frequently. So I have charted a list of all the media I have consumed this year. Well, I say all the media. It's books, TV series, anime and movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I have a ranking system, 1 to 5 star and life-changing.
Yeah.
4 films this year have made it into the life-changing category.
Wow.
All for different reasons. So I'm just going to go through those honourable mentions first. First one, City of God. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What a film. Actually, you know what? 5 films have gone into life-changing, actually. I've just not put one of them on this list. City of God. What a fucking...
I own that film, and I've never watched it.
Oh, John, just sit down and watch it.
Well,
It's
I can't
so
because, as I
good.
said, my PS4.
Oh, your PlayStation's broken.
I've got nothing to play the DVD on.
Fuck. Yeah, no, great point. Get a new PlayStation. Sit down and watch it, because it is genuinely just it's such an incredible film. I think the fact that there was only one professional actor in that film. No one else had acted before that film, and it is just incredible, like top to bottom, and based on a true story, might I add. Like,
Oh, nice.
what? Great film. So that's one of the honourable mentions. Second one. This is the first time I realised I was watching a Daniel Day-Lewis film. I have watched Last of the Mohicans, but There Will Be Blood I watched for the first time this year.
Oh, God, yeah.
Wow.
I saw that in the
I
cinema.
Drink Your Milkshake.
Fucking hell.
That film's amazing. I know Daniel Day-Lewis is a method actor, so the fact that he got away with murdering Paul Dano on camera, and then they managed to bring him back for, Batman and all those other films afterwards. Hollywood are hiding the technology to resurrect people. It's incredible. But yeah, there was some great acting. And I think Paul Dano doesn't get talked about enough in that role. Like, he really carried the film, because he originally wasn't meant to have a big role. He was only supposed to be the brother at the start, not the second brother. And that actor had dropped out, so Paul Dano took over that role as well. So he's stepped in, and he's just given an absolutely career-defining performance, and stood up to Daniel Day-Lewis as well in terms of acting power in that film. So that's up there.
Yep.
The third one. Now, this is one that's close to my heart, John. You might agree. Evangelion finally got the closure that was needed. We found out the boy Hideaki Anno isn't depressed anymore after all these 1.1, 2.2,
Yeah, this is the
3.3s.
3+1.
This is the 3.0 plus 1, Thrice Upon a Time.
I've not got
So
around to
this-
watching that
There's
one
been
yet.
so many of them. I don't even know whether I have watched them or not.
No, so this was the last of the third series of movies, but this one has a new character in it, in a German girl that is actually as much as he is a self-insert for Shinji, she is a self-insert for his life and his wife, I found out. So she resolving the depression and sort of resolving all of it is like a beautiful anecdote, and it was just such a beautiful send-off. I think that was like the first film I watched this year, and I was just so happy, and it felt like just a part of me was just put to rest, and I was like, cool, Evangelion's ended, and it's ended happily. It's not just depressing. This is great. I love it. So that goes on there. Fourth honorable mention. I feel like I've been going on for a while, but fuck it, it's content.
Yeah, man.
Midsummer, I watched so 3 of these films I watched as part of our film club, which we have going at work.
Cool.
Midsummer was another pick. That was, just a fantastic film. So tense, very good. I like the cult vibes. I like the discourse around it. Like, do you think she was in the right, or do you think she got a happy ending, etc.? Because it's basically just a test to see if you would get indoctrinated into a cult or not, depending on how you view the outcome of that film. So it's a fantastic film, really well shot. One of those A24 classics, basically, from the string of A24 absolutely tense classics. But my number one film this year, the film I enjoyed the most, the film I went to the cinema to see and fucking loved every moment of it. Bear in mind, I've not seen the first one. Top Gun Maverick. What a fucking film that was.
Wow.
Oh
I
my
did not
god.
expect that.
No, front to
movie.
back, I was
Great
just
movie.
sat there like, this is sick.
Yeah.
What a great film. It's so well done. The fact that it was done 2 years ago, they sat and waited on it to release it in cinemas, fucking worth every penny.
Yeah.
Would have gone and seen it again. Saw it at the end of its run, but oh my god, did I love every
Yeah, I
second
saw it
of that
twice.
film.
Really good.
And then getting your boy Val Kilmer in as well.
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah. Oh, fucking yeah. Love that film. Great film.
It was like I
Hot cast too.
was really impressed that, like, I'm sure everyone thought, okay, so this movie is going to be he's feeling old and he goes back for one last hurrah, and it totally wasn't that. It was
But
just.
it was at the same time.
But no, by
like,
the end, of
so
course, it
wasn't,
was,
but
because
it
that's
so
what
was.
you
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
Yeah, mostly it almost felt like an exploration of Tom Cruise getting older than the cat. Yeah, really, really great movie.
It's like the final scene of Fast and Furious 7 where he says goodbye.
Yeah.
Where Dom Toretto says goodbye, but one, Tom Cruise isn't dead, and 2, it was actually done kind of tastefully. It wasn't- like don't get me wrong, not the biggest fan of Tom Cruise as a person, but the film was good. The film was great.
Yeah.
It was.
Cam, did you say you'd not seen the first one?
No, but I feel like I don't need to. Everyone told me it's basically the exact same plot. Just-
Because I've not seen Maverick yet, but I was waiting to rewatch the first one, and I still haven't done that. So
Yeah,
no, I don't think you need to. I think
no, I
it gives
haven't
you a
seen
very
the first
good.
one since like the early '90s. I don't think you need
Yeah,
I've
it
seen
gives you a
it
very
since the
good
80s.
summation of everything.
So I was the other way around. I watched the first one 2 times before I went to go see the second one. But yeah, that's just because I love the movies. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Jason,
hello.
what have you got to say?
Loads. No, not really. I've not watched a lot of films this year. I've got a list of them in front of me. One is standing out. I didn't think I'd seen this year, actually. I thought it was last year and I just maybe rewatched it. But looking back through the Dinocast notes, I did watch this quite early in the year for the first time, and it is Jojo Rabbit.
Oh,
great
cool.
film.
Wonderful movie.
Yeah. Really enjoyed it. I've seen it a couple of times. I've even watched people's reactions to it. So if you haven't seen it, it's set in the Second World War, basically seeing it through the views of a 10-year-old member of the Hitler Youth and his imaginary friend Hitler. That's all you need to know, really. It's funny, it's poignant, it's thought-provoking, but it's also it moves along very quickly, and I think everything in it is worth being there. Carried me along. I enjoy it. You get a little teary-eyed, you get a laugh. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Directed and starring Taika Waititi. Well, I knew I messed that up. Taika Waititi, yes. Yeah, really good thing. Sam Rockwell's in it, and he's always good in everything. So, yeah, really good film.
I was going to say
Love
that movie almost hinges on, like, despite how great the leads are, it almost hinges on Sam Rockwell. Like, if that part
I feel like a
wasn't
lot of
played as
Sam
well,
Rockwell
the
movies-
ending would have lost so much of its impact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I think it was the same in like Seven Psychopaths. Sam Rockwell really does do a great job of,
Yeah.
you know, being a glue that keeps a film going.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that in pretty much everything. Especially
Yeah.
Moon, but that he was literally the only person
yeah.
in Moon. It would have been very different without him. John, what have you seen this year, mate?
Oh, I sat down to have a look at what I'd seen this year, and nothing really sticks out. I must have watched tons and tons of Netflix, but nothing really kind of like held my attention. But I will say 2 films that I went to the cinema, like Cam, Top Gun Maverick was superb. And in all honesty, who can beat a little bit of Jennifer Connelly?
Oh, hell
She's
yeah.
fantastic.
God, am I an old man?
If you're an old man, I'm a very old man.
Yeah, we all fell in love with her in Labyrinth and have followed her through the years. What's your excuse, dude?
She's looking kind of milfy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
After Helena Bonham Carter a minute ago.
Yeah.
Well, you can take Helen Bottom Carter, I'll take Jennifer Connelly, thank you very much. And the thing that I'm really looking forward to is now that we've got obviously a new Top Gun, is getting Charlie Sheen out of rehab and doing another Hot Shots. Because that would be fantastic.
I wondered if he was going for Platoon 2 then. Oh yeah, that really needs a sequel.
Well, yeah. Platoon is literally one of the greatest films ever. Not just Vietnam films, literally one of the most perfect films ever. And the fact that it only won 4 Oscars, I think is a travesty. That film is by far one of the definitive films ever made. But anyway, going back, the second film that I really enjoyed, which everybody seems to hate, is Bullet Train.
Oh, that was great.
Wait, no spoils. No spoils.
Yeah, no
I wanted to go
spoilers.
see
I
it in the
haven't seen
cinema really badly. So,
Well, it is just a great, just a great fun film. It's not supposed
Yeah.
to be like highbrow or anything like that. It's just having fun. And obviously having been to Japan and ridden the train and stuff like that, it was quite nice to see. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I loved my experience on the Bullet Train. Didn't quite have the same experience as Brad Pitt, but fantastic movie. Really just fun. And yeah, I'd recommend anybody watch it.
That's already on Netflix in the US, so provided the licensing deal is the same, should hopefully get that on UK Netflix soon as well.
Oh, that would have been a perfect segue to announce a channel sponsor.
Raid Shadow Legends!
No, Surfshark. If you've got like Surfshark in, you're gonna just.
Oh
straight
man,
in
you know
there.
what? Surfshark, if you do want to sponsor us, you'd be throwing your money or wasting your money, but I've been paying for that for years and I am so happy with it. It really is fantastic. Like so many of the other ones I've tried would just kind of turn off and weird stuff like that, but yeah, Surfshark is super stable on their kill switch. I'm not this is not turning
any
into an ad
VPN
for
service.
Surfshark.
Oh,
and certainly not any VPN service that actually allows you to legally watch content in a different country.
Yeah, I watched all of Godzilla Singular Point in Japanese and Japanese websites using it. Even though I don't speak much Japanese, so I didn't know what was going on. I didn't care. You could see the monsters
Sorry,
show
hold
up.
on. The implication of don't speak much Japanese. Go on, give us your best.
No. I'm not doing it on this. I've been studying it for 2 years and I've done a 30-week course at the college and I'm still not confident enough to speak out loud because it's really fucking hard.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
It's an ongoing
that's good.
project for fun. But yes,
That's good though, John. I think you've prompted me to like actually sit down and watch Bullet Train.
oh yeah.
Because it was just one of those films I was like, I really want to watch this.
Yeah, I do.
I just never got around to doing it, but if you're saying it is just as fun, if it is fun a film as you are saying it is, I'll definitely sit down and give it a watch.
It's just one of those films that you just
Switch
put on,
off,
and
enjoy.
you can just watch it. You don't have to think. You don't have to. It's a popcorn film.
Yeah. Oh, and it's got some great actors in it as well.
It has. Yeah.
And it also has a punchline hidden in the credits.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that's good to know.
yeah, it's fantastic. Well, I am much like Cameron. I rank all the movies I see in the cinema on a rating of 1 to 10. And yeah, I got 5 10 out of 10 movies this year. And 2 of them were really recent, actually. So the one that everyone will have heard of and everyone says is great, and it is Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's absolutely incredible. Nope. That is... Everyone loves Jordan Peele and his horror movies, and I always think there's something missing from them. And the thing that was missing is sci-fi, because Nope is absolutely fucking incredible. I love that from start to finish. Everyone should watch that. Decision to Leave, just a Korean kind of genre-hopping murder mystery thing that we saw recently. And The Menu, which is Ralph Fiennes as the head chef on a small island, and it's just an unbelievable character study and study of various industries. Those are all great. But obviously, the best thing I saw this year was The Batman, because of course it fucking was. It was a 3-hour Batman movie that was unbelievably good, and he doesn't kill anyone. And I've seen it 7 times. It's a 3-hour movie. I keep watching it. It's fucking unbelievable.
Also, I would like to shout out the Batman for having Penguin's Club be Printworks in London, because what a fucking sick venue to... One, what a sick venue in real life. 2, what a sick venue for a villain to have as that, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking cool, isn't it?
Damn right.
Seriously,
Yes.
Penguin's Club should be a chocolate bar.
Penguin's... So, kick him. Remove him from this party. I'm laughing. Like, that's the worst part. I thought it was quite funny. Get him out.
That's why the fans want me back.
Yep.
Watching that Pac-Man video all the time.
Yeah, so of those movies, yeah, The Batman is the one I've seen the most, and The Batman's the one that I'm going to watch again soonest. I'll probably watch it over Christmas again, so
Nice.
yeah. A nice broad range of movies for anyone listening this to give a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone got anything else to say? I mean, I've already talked about the Batman for
Oh,
well over an hour on various Dino casts, so...
Yeah, one other mention, it's a film I come back to every year. Big Trouble in Little China, great film, go watch it. Fucking fun as shit.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
Love that film.
I made my film club watch it, and we've had some incredible films in film club, and I just wanted to be the foil and say, hey, we're whacking on Big Trouble.
Yeah, love that.
And that brings us round to telly. So, Adam, what have you been watching on the small screen?
Again, there seems to be a theme, but I couldn't pick between 2. So I'm going to do a special mention, and that's Willow, currently on. It's had 4 parts, I believe, so far, and it's great. It's absolutely great. It's nostalgia fun. I remember the film Willow fondly, and this just follows on with a lot of the same actors and a lot of new ones as well to freshen it up. So that's it's great. It's absolutely great. That's not my pick, so I won't talk too much about that. My actual pick is Tim Burton's Wednesday, and
Ooh.
it's great, absolutely great. So Wednesday Addams basically goes to Nevermore Academy through a series of going to other schools, creating absolute havoc, and this is the academy that her parents went to, and while there she ends up picking up trying to thwart a killing spree and gets involved in a mystery that her parents were involved in 25 years previous. So it's absolutely fantastic, and Jenny Ortega plays an absolutely fantastic Wednesday Addams. She just brings a whole new icy cold emotionless vibe to Wednesday, and like Christina Ricci's in it, Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it for a couple of episodes, Luis Guzman as Gomez Addams. Not my pick, funny enough, of an actor for Gomez Addams, but he does a good job. He does a really good job. Gwendolyn Christie as well as the headmaster. Yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. Yeah. Have any of you seen it?
I've seen a couple episodes, and a fun little fact for you: Jenny Ortega choreographed Wednesday's dance
Yes.
herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which makes it even better, I think.
Apparently, if it's to be believed, no one knew what the dance was going to be. She just kept it secret, and they never did it in front of anyone. And then while filming, she just brought this dance out that now everybody's doing on like TikTok and YouTube and everything like that. It's absolutely
And another little fact is that on that day she was recording that, she had COVID. So
No way!
Did she?
she recorded that between feeling ill and having the test confirmed, apparently.
Wow. Wow. Props to her. That's good. Yeah, it's a fantastic show. It really is. And I think I heard that they're doing a follow-on, aren't they? They're doing a second series.
Thursday.
I would not be surprised, because apparently it's the second most streamed show on Netflix, isn't it?
No, it's overtaken it as the most streamed show.
Wow.
Overtook,
There you go.
I think yesterday or the day before.
I've not heard of either of those shows.
Oh no, yesterday wasn't the show. I was talking about the time frame at which it became the top.
Yes.
The top show. Okay.
Cameron, you're chomping at the bit. Go on, mate. What's your TV?
Oh, listen. It's been a great year for TV. It's been a great year for TV. I'll tell you this. And listen, we got The Bear, which is the first show in ages that has actually made my chest feel tight from the stress of the TV show. Fantastic show. Incredible. Cyberpunk Edge Runner, contention to be anime of the year, possibly even TV show of the year. That episode 6
Nah, that was
made me
rubbish.
aware. You shut your mouth. That
I
episode
haven't.
6
I've got
It was
it, but I
rubbish.
haven't got round to watching it yet. I'm very excited
made me
for it.
painfully aware that episode 6s this year for anime have just been absolutely chef's kiss. Unbelievable. White Lotus, I watched the first series at the start of this year. Loved it.
I was
what a
disappointed
change of
in
pace. Oh man, see, I loved it. I just enjoyed the change of pace. Just people talking, trying to figure out who did what. I thought it was quite funny. It was very macabre. I loved it. But, and this is the unequivocal correct answer. I'm sorry for those that have been, those that will be. Ranking of Kings was an anime that came out this year, and I would do fucking anything for that main character. Anything. Right? That show is so beautifully animated. The story is incredible. It's so good. It will make you feel like it. Oh, it will just make you feel. It's just the feelings you feel. I cannot explain. And the opening song just makes you want to stand up and puff out your chest. It is just such a beautiful show. So
Okay, I'm going to counter that with Chainsaw Man has a man with a chainsaw for a face, though.
yeah, that's fantastic. And what I would say to that is, I've read it, you fucking scrub. So
have I.
it's not going in my top list.
Fair
So
Settle down,
so
man.
Ranking of Kings remains as the anime for me for this year. It follows a young king called Boji, who is deaf and mute, basically.
Oh wow.
Not mute. He can talk, but he can't talk. He just can't make any noise. He is what the, I guess, traditional medical sense of the word dumb would be.
Right.
But listen, I would die for that fucking. If he was my king, I would fucking die for him, because I've never loved a character more in my life. It's just such a wholesome show. And there's so many different plots going on. There's so much politicking and everything, and anyone you think would be a villain It's just so good. It's such a good show. I've watched it twice this year. I cannot stress how much I fucking enjoyed that show. It made me realise how good anime can be.
Yeah.
I think I fell off anime in 2021. I really wasn't like enjoying much of anything, and just, you know, you can take your Edge Runners, you can have The Bear, you can have White Lotus, but Ranking of Kings really was the show this year.
How many episodes is it?
12 short, concise
cool.
episodes.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely give that a
Yeah.
watch, mate.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I might.
The opening song is my top song this year. My most listened to song on Spotify, because that shit is just, it's motivational. It's so good. Anyway, I'll leave the rest of you to give wrong answers now. Away with you.
You're welcome.
Jason, what's your wrong answer?
My wrong answer, and I've not seen any of those things he's mentioned, so I can't. Of the things I've
You're not
seen,
an anime
I'm
guy, though, are you?
No, not really. I don't mind it. I used to watch it, but no, I know nothing. I'm not going to even try and get into that subject because I'm going to lower the bar and just mention something. So I haven't watched that much, but the things I've watched, there's some good things. But the one that was the thing that stood out to me as much better than I expected it to be, which is the lower expectations thing, was the US version of Ghosts, the BBC sitcom, which has now been remade. And yeah, I mean, I quite enjoyed the British one. It's one of the few terrestrial TV shows that I still watch, and like the characters, like the general way it works out. If you haven't seen it, it's basically a couple inherits a haunted house essentially, and one of them is able to see ghosts and the other one isn't, and that is the basic plot which they both have. But then the US one, as I think the good idea is that they didn't follow all the plots from the UK one, and they just obviously got brand new characters because it's all from US history rather than UK history, so they've got different time periods to work with and that sort of stuff. And they go off and kind of do their own thing with it, and it's the same premise, but I think it's much more American, which you can see as a good or bad thing depending on what you want. But I think it is a slightly better written show in some places. It's a different kind of humour, and it works for what it is. It's like the two versions of The Office. I think they're not, because they went off in their own ways, they're different enough that you're not constantly judging it. And I just pretty much binged all of that. It's all on iPlayer at the moment, the first season, and yeah, really enjoyed it. Lots of nice, happy fun, some thought-provoking moments, some minor tears, but mostly just simple laughs and gags. And they've done nice things with the characters that it's different from the UK cast, and their backstories are obviously different as well. And it's if you're into that kind of thing, I'd say give it a watch.
Nice.
Have any of you seen either of those?
No.
I've seen the original Ghosts.
Yeah.
I've seen clips from the American one. It does look very good. I prefer when America remake a show and then just don't like copy it scene for scene. Like the American In-Betweeners was fucking tragic.
I mean, the first two episodes are basically the setup in both versions, so they're kind of the same. But once, and I think Americans obviously they write things as they make them, kind of, rather than doing it all beforehand and then doing it. So they kind of get into their own characters, and all the characters become their own thing much more after sort of third or fourth episode, I'd say. But yeah, it's very nice.
Cool.
It's no anime, but you know, it's
Just not Ranking the Kings, yeah.
So that
You're
is-
right about that.
that is my wrong answer.
Nice.
John, what have you got, mate?
Well, I did actually watch quite a lot of anime, and I can pretty much remember none of it. Okay. However, you know, so a couple of honourable mentions would be My Hero Academia. I quite enjoyed that.
Are you watching it from the start, or is it just the most recent season?
From the start.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, if it's the most recent season, you're a man of terrible taste, but if it's from the start, I do that.
I've just started the books of those, actually. Having fun
Hands
with
the
it.
authority on anime.
I'm a fucking weeb, bro.
And then there's one other thing, but I can't actually remember what it is. I think it's loosely based around either a game or something like that, but I can't remember. But obviously for me, again, season 4 of Stranger Things, still
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic series.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
I've got to admit, I do love them all, except maybe the kind of slight dodgy bit in season 2. another absolutely fantastic season from them. It's a little bit of a shame that the team kind of split up into two throughout that, but again, fantastic, friendships and bonding between the characters. The introduction of some of the new characters in there, absolutely fantastic. Millie Bobby Brown, got to mention her again. She was in Enola Holmes.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah. But the show that I'd have to say was the best show of Clarkson Farm, and it actually really should be the best show, definitively,
Wow.
is Clarkson's Farm. And it's not just because there's comedy in it, but it actually shows the true state of the UK and indeed the world's farming community, and how it's utterly ridiculous. I know Jeremy Clarkson has a way of just annoying everybody, or he's either everybody's hero or everybody's villain. He comes across this in an air of humility, and it's just a genius piece of work on how Britain does not support its farming community.
Yeah.
I think that's like the egg shortage, isn't it? It's just the supermarkets refusing to pay a fair price for the eggs. It wasn't because there weren't any. It's because they just didn't want to pay the farmers an actual decent price for them, so they refused to buy them and then put the blame on the farmers.
Well, it's so much. It highlights so many different reasons why farming works and why farming doesn't work, and also the public's view on farming. All the whole agriculture in the UK, and it'd actually be very interesting to see a similar thing in other parts of the world. Obviously, we're probably not going to get that because Clarkson's Farm is slightly unique. But yeah, some of the insights that he's given, it's an eye-opener, and I think everybody should go and watch that.
Cool. That's the industry I work in, and I can vouch that it's fucking insane.
Yeah, so Sean, you're going to start up a new partnership with Clarkson's Farm and the Iron Dinos.
Oh, we get sponsors. We're going to become a pro farm channel.
Yeah, it's just going to be me and Adam playing Farm Simulator now. That's all you're getting.
Have a yearly special where you actually go out to a farm and work for a day as well. It's sorted. Easy.
I could do that.
you know
One of
what?
the
I'd
great
actually
things
be up for
about
that.
a lot of modern farms is the machines in the field, like the big combines and stuff. They work by sat navigation, so you need someone in there in case something goes wrong. But essentially, they're just driving themselves up and down and around. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
I do that shit. I sit there with my DS. But my TV of the year. I wasn't going to mention this, but all you guys bringing so much from Netflix, I guess I really should bring up Sandman. I never in a million years thought there would be a passable adaptation of Sandman. But while I think it got off to a little bit of a ropey start, I think they're finding their feet. By the special they put out at the end, I have no complaints whatsoever. And it's been renewed for a second season apparently. I hope they get 5 or 6 to tell the whole story, because it's one of those things that it seems like a series of arcs in a story, but actually the end point was there from the start, and it's one giant thing. So I hope they get to tell the whole story. But yeah, really, really like Sandman. But that is not my show of the year.
Because I thought I watched half of it, and
Yeah.
the end is so boring. I turned it off. I didn't even watch the last couple of episodes.
Wow.
I haven't finished it, but I plan to go back at some point. But I'm only on like episode 3 or 4.
Fair, your mileage may vary. I didn't find any of it boring, but there we go. But my show of this year, which I'm suddenly concerned that I actually watched last year, it may have been my show of the year last year, but I don't think it was. Just give me 2 seconds.
Just say it's this year. It's fine.
Yeah, no. It's 2020. Yeah, all of my files say 2022. So I saw it in 2022.
Let's face it, Sean. The only people that watch anything on the channel, they'll be watching Pac-Man, Jason, Cam, and I. So they won't even watch last year's show. So they won't remember.
It is Barry.
Oh yeah.
The
Ooh, nice choice.
show about a hitman who wishes to leave this life behind and become an actor. It is like, you can't judge something like this really until it's finished, but if the level of quality of seasons 1 to 3 continues through it, you've got one of the best pieces of TV I've ever seen. It's up there with Breaking Bad, it's up there with anything you want to say as just unbelievable TV. The fucking depth of every single characters, even the really stupid comedy ones who don't appear to have any depth. It is just a fucking incredible piece of television. It will make you laugh, it will make you cry. It's just absolutely fantastic.
I'll have to put that down.
Yeah, it's just one I found kind of out of nowhere because I was doing one of my kind of biannual. Henry Winkler's actually alive. I wonder what he's doing these days. And that's how I found it. He's putting on the performance of his career. It is just absolutely unbelievable.
To say that Happy Days is not the performance of his career.
No, funnily enough, it isn't.
I've got one more thing to say. The Rehearsal is fucking incredible TV. If you've not watched it, it's very, very good. I don't know how Nathan Fielder manages to do it, but it is just great television. And very quick synopsis of the premise: it's why shouldn't life be rehearsed? Why does everything have to happen as it does, unscripted? And it's such a great premise for a show, and it's so good.
So is it like a drama or a?
It's hard to describe it because it blurs so many lines. If you watched it, you'd understand immediately what it was.
I'll watch it then.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
the premise I've described fairly well. Why does anything have to happen by chance? Why can't we script it? Is basically it.
Cool.
Cool.
I'll give that a watch.
Nice.
That sounds interesting. And now we move on to music. Adam, what is the best thing you've heard this year?
I've gone a bit of a different direction, and it's because of my wife. When I travel around in my wife's car, obviously she
It's your
puts,
wife singing.
phone
I'm going to
music on.
throw up.
No, it's not. No, but she put a song on that I hadn't heard before, and to be honest, I don't really listen to too much new music. It's all old music that I've downloaded onto my phone and stuff like that. But this one came out November 2021, and it is "Crazy What Love Can Do" by David Guetta, Becky Hill, and Ella Henderson. Yeah, I don't normally go that direction, but it's a fantastic song. It's on my playlist in my car, and yeah, I sing along when it comes on. No, I'm not singing. And yeah, it's great. Love it. Really liking Ella Henderson actually. I've got another one of hers that I'm listening to. 21 Reasons Why. Featuring Ella Henderson. It's not actually her song, but yeah, really good. Crazy What Love Can Do.
Cool. Cameron,
Boy, hope you're ready for this one.
he's coming in hot.
Oh, I'm coming in hot. So listen, I wasn't around to know of this country's existence, but you guys were. This record comes from the Yugoslavia.
Okay.
It's by an artist called Ariane, and the album is called Ariane, and it's from it's from 1981. And I don't know how to describe. I came across it because it was one of the closing songs at an Ibiza party my mate was at. And well, there's two of them from this album. One's "Your Love Makes Me a Winner," and one is "Can't Say Goodbye." But I love the whole album. And this album's been released in 2 states as well. So there's an English side A is in English, side B is, and I, for want of a better term, will say Yugoslavian because I don't actually know what the language is. I guess Serbian.
Yeah.
But it's just this incredible, like, funky little dance track from the 80s, like dance and disco, and I cannot explain how good it is, how much I've had it on repeat. I'm desperately trying to source a vinyl for it through Discogs because it is just that incredible, and it doesn't matter if you're listening to it in English or not, it is just fucking unbelievable. And yeah, so that's my favourite. It's my favourite this year by a country mile. Honourable mention though to I Like It by DeBarge off of All This Love, because you can't fucking beat a bit of DeBarge, to be honest, can you, boys? You just can't do it. It's incredible. But yeah, that's my choices. Ariane, Can't Say Goodbye.
Nice.
Just a great song.
Awesome. Jason, what's been filling your ears?
So, for the last few years, I've been kind of watching a YouTube video of a performance of a song, and I was going to mention it last year. It's a very long video. No, it's one I keep going back to, which is why I mentioned it this year. But there's also another reason I mentioned it this year. And it is basically, it's the Danish National Symphony Orchestra's performance of the Ennio Morricone Good, the Bad and the Ugly theme.
Oh,
basically.
right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I must have watched that video 40 times or so, just at random points throughout the year. And then earlier in this year, I think around June or July, I bought a record player for the first time in 20 years or something, so I could play my old stuff. And then of the few things I've bought that are new and not just stuff from a charity shop or something, it was the live recording from their performance in Copenhagen. And I was playing it again yesterday. It's very moving. I think it's even slightly better and elevated above the original score. Because it's performed with like a full orchestra. It's still got guitars and stuff in it, and I think just seeing that performance and how things are, you can see the puffing out of the cheeks and everyone giving it all their full stuff. It made me appreciate orchestras and performance and actually want to go and see something live like that in the future, because I just find it very moving, and it perks me up every time I watch it.
You need to get tickets to the proms then, my friend.
I was going to go with
cannot
a slightly
stress.
different option. Come with me. In March, I'm going to London. Yeah, to London. They're doing the Batman, but they've taken all the music out, and there's going to be a live orchestra doing the whole score of the movie.
All right.
That's going to be awesome.
Cool, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I think another thing to keep an eye out for is Somerset House. They regularly do open air orchestra performance. They did all of Joe Hisashi's music. Now, if you don't know who that is, he is the man that basically does the score for all of your favourite Studio Ghibli films and a fucking shitload of other Japanese movies. And the music is magical, especially live.
I will. There's lots to watch, lots to listen to.
John, what's your pick, mate?
I can't say that I've actually listened to a lot of new music this year, so I'm actually going to go in a different direction.
Ooh.
I'm going to go for my favourite podcast,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
and it's going to be the Fuckface Podcast.
No, I don't
And-
listen.
No. It's basically three friends, and the tagline is a deep lore about nothing. And it's just three people just having a laugh, antics. You know, it's just about their lives and how stupid they are and how they unintentionally screw themselves over. Yeah, and that's
Is this the Jeff Ramsey thing?
yeah.
You can't mention their names. There's so much controversy around Rooster
I didn't
Teeth.
know this, sorry.
You're not allowed.
Part of the
You're not
law, is
allowed.
it?
No, there isn't. It's just people being butthurt that they didn't, that it wasn't the dream that they thought it was. It's just work.
So, mine is actually also a podcast. It's called Communion After Dark. One of the things about getting older is you don't go to gigs all the time, you don't go to festivals, your friends fall out of listening to music, so you don't get to find anything new. and I'd fallen so far out of the goth scene, it wasn't even funny. But I've restructured my evenings now, and I spend an hour listening to Communion After Dark in the evening, so I get...
What you were going to say, you spend your hours like dressed up as a goth.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to head towards as well.
I mean, I'm a bit gothy anyway.
Full
but,
makeup.
but yeah, listening to that while reading manga and or Eurogamer, depending how long it takes me to read for Eurogamer. No, not Eurogamer,
Okay.
Retro Gamer. The only magazine subscription I have. So yeah, the Communion After Dark podcast, it's all electronic goth music, and it's fucking fantastic. And yeah, it's given me loads of new bands to listen to. I've bought way more music than I have probably in the last 7 or 8 years because of it, and yeah, it's a really great time. So if you're remotely interested in some banging electronic musical tunes, you should give it a go. I've been trying to find a couple of other ones actually for different musical genres. Like, I love a bit of synthwave and stuff. The problem is that you've either got to be small enough that you're flying under the radar not to just get copyright struck or stuff, or you've got the shite that's just what's being promoted at the time.
You should. What I would recommend, just a good generic music podcast, is James Acaster's one.
Yeah?
Which is he just goes, because 2016 was an incredible year for music, and he just goes through and buys or collects albums from 2016 and just talks about how great they are. Because it genuinely, I was going to do a podcast on the music from 2016 as well, and that fucker beat me to it. But it is genuinely just an incredible year for music. There's a lot of great stuff. And I mean, you don't strike me as a hip hop fan, but Ramesh Ranganathan's Hip Hop Saved My Life. Hip Hop Saved My Life is incredible as well. He gets guests on, both from the scene and like friends and stuff. And I think because it is, he has a sponsor that I think is one of the TV channels. He does have a lot of the rights to the beds, so he can play the music in between each track, so you get a bit of a sample. And it's very good, especially the episodes when he brings his mum on. Very good episodes.
I don't mind. Like, a lot of my hip hop knowledge is nostalgia, because obviously that got really big when I was, heading through my teenage years, I guess.
Yeah.
The late 80s through to the late 90s and whatever.
I think you're the same age range, so I think you probably actually quite enjoy it.
Yeah, I think he's a comedian, right?
Yes, Ramesh is a comedian.
Yeah, I like him. I've seen him on things. I've seen his sets.
Sean, do you dress up as a goth in the afternoon, and then in the evening you go full hip hop, gold chains, like the hat, baggy trousers?
No, I don't goth up the way I used to, but my look is generally quite gothy. I've got my long black hair's halfway down my back. I've got a little bit of a beard. I'll do the nail polish and a couple of the accoutrements, but I don't do like the white face stuff anymore or the guy liner. Used to look fucking great in it, but too old for that
White
shit
face
now.
is a bit racist now, so it's not.
A white face, yeah. And next is best book, magazine, reading experience, whatever you want to go with. So, Adam, what have you been reading, mate?
So I normally go for a Sarah J. Maas book. I'm a big fan of hers, but the author that originally got me into writing and reading books, Garth Nix, released another book from his Old Kingdom series. This is fantasy fiction. And
someone else reads the Old Kingdom. Oh my god! Sorry. This is such a big moment for childhood me, because I was like the only person I knew that read that. Sorry, go on.
Oh no! I'm a big fan. He released Tertial and Eleanor, and this is a prequel. So this goes, if you know the books, the most famous of them, Sibriel. It's her parents. It's based on her parents, and yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Garth Nix is back to his best. He's absolutely great at fantasy writing, and this one is no different. It dives into all the magic that he has in the books. It actually dives into a little bit. So the premise of it is, if you think of a rough map of England and where Hadrian's Wall is, that is basically what he's calling the Old Kingdom. And the wall separates a very STEAM, technology-wise country from the magical country, which is the Old Kingdom above. And this book spends a lot of time in sort of the STEAM age country. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, and it brings all the charter magic to it, and brings some really nasty evil characters back from the original books. Actually, this is where the nasty evil character, I won't spoil it, but where it sort of comes from. And yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. If you are into reading and into fantasy novels, definitely pick up the Old Kingdom series. You won't be disappointed. It's absolutely phenomenal. And can I just say, the artwork on the front is awesome as well. Just, yeah.
Oh yeah, the artwork's good for all the versions of it. The artwork is really good.
Yeah.
Even because I think I had the trilogy I had, which was Sabriel to Abortion,
Yes.
were just the coloured ones.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
the red, the blue, and the white.
Yeah.
But they've done more. The more recent ones, and they've redone the old ones, have like illustrations on the front of them as well, which is they're really cool.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, love how they've redone all that. Because there's like Golden Hand as well, which is probably the one before this. There's Across the Wall, which is kind of more of a short story, isn't it?
Short stories one, yeah.
But yeah, so good. Such a good series. Such a good writer. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Coming into this, I didn't think there would be like you could have held the gun to my head and said, "Do you think the Old Kingdom is going to be mentioned in anything that you watch or talk to or this year?" And I would have said no. And that would have been the end of my life, because I was clearly wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're taking recommendations, Adam, but if
go
you've
for it.
not read The Painted Man and
I have
the
not,
series,
no.
wow, that's like, yeah, you should definitely watch that. It's a much more mature, not to say that the Old Kingdom series isn't mature, but I feel like it's a much more mature version of the Old Kingdom series. It's very, very good, and the magic there works on the premise of people have wards, and you write the wards on the floor, and you keep the demons out at night, etc.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
And then the Painted Man comes along, and boy, that man said, "Fuck that! I'm writing the wards on myself." And it's just such a great series of books, because no one thought that could be done, but it can.
Oh yeah.
So I would recommend those.
Yeah. Garth Nix actually spent. So this series is like teen sort of fiction up, and then he sort of got to the end of when he released sort of Golden Hand maybe, and he spent a lot of time sort of in the children's section of books, releasing children's sections.
We did the Keys to the Kingdom, didn't he?
Yes,
as well, which was like or Mr. Monday.
That's it.
And that series of books, which are also fantastic.
I love that. Yeah.
But I really liked them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
He's
what the fuck?
He's the original writer that got me into writing. So yeah, like before the age of like 22, I was not into books, writing, anything to do with that side of things. And I just randomly walked into Waterstones one day, and there was Lyriel sitting there on like the best books type thing section. I was just like, oh, I'll give that a go, and I brought it, and totally random for me, totally obscure, and then that was it. I was hooked. Just If you like that sort of stuff, pick up Sarah J. Maas books. She's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. She's got a load of good series. She's a New York bestseller at the minute. Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, sorry, went on for a bit there.
That's what we're here for. You and Cameron have a budding bromance out of it. It's all wonderful. But Cameron, what have you been reading, mate?
I'm just a bit shocked, to be honest, about the Old Kingdom. That's kind of fried my brain a little bit. So I actually did a thing at the start of this year, and we went to there's a place there's like a books warehouse, and each month they do like a 30% off sale. But at the start of each year, they do it like 50% off or 75% off. I think it was 75% off. So I went down to that and I bought £500 worth of books. So all the science fiction classics, a lot of the Penguin classics, some books on cooking, etc., some architecture ones, some photography ones, Viking ones as well, and a lot of short stories that I could just read on the way to work. So and none of you will ever meet my English teacher, but my English teacher would tell you this. I'm a pretty slow reader because I place a lot of importance on words and how they're played. You wouldn't get it from just talking to me, but I place a lot of importance on where words are placed within sentences and like how that sentence is formed. I think it conveys a lot more than just, reading it, and I like making sure I read it right.
Yeah, I get that.
Get the idea and going over things. So I read a short story this year called The Victim, which was very, very good. The idea was it's a crime drama. A man has... it's The Victim by P.D. James. It's a crime drama. A man has had his wife stolen, and so he goes through... Not stolen per se. His wife was never really his wife to begin with, as the book alludes to, but he goes through and commits an almost perfect murder. Almost gets away with it, and then does get away with it. And I can't tell you any more than that. But it was just a great little short story I read on the way to work.
Nice.
Like I said, my brain is still kind of fried from the Old Kingdom books. Like, as you said that, like a whole wave of image, because when I read as well, I like forming the pictures in my mind. I like having looks of it, and I just have this very strong scene of Sabriel, Lyriel, the male sort of half lead, and the cat talking to each other in a porcelain.
I love the cat.
Yeah,
God,
I love the cat too. And I just have this mental scene in my head of these guys having a conversation, and as you were talking about it, it kept playing.
And the dog,
yeah,
it's a distributable dog. Oh.
Yeah, the dog as well. Yeah, incredible. So, The Victim is definitely one of the better books I read this year. I also got halfway through Neuromancer, which I love as a book. It's like the first mention of virtual reality and everything. And I did a book exchange with my mate at uni years and years ago. And I thought, I'll take this book out to Italy with us while we're doing a tour. And I started reading it I was reading it all throughout, and I got to a point. My mate had a bookmark in it, and I didn't want to open the bookmark or look at it until I got to it. Because it was a train ticket. And I just thought, interesting. So as I'm on the way to Venice on the train, I hit the page of the bookmark. It was a train ticket from him 6 years ago on a train to Venice. And I thought, what the fuck are the chances of that happening? Like, what on earth are the chances of that? But yeah, I'm really enjoying Neuromancer. But
it's great.
I've got to say, the top thing I've read this year, I have got back into Warhammer rather heavily, and I now also have the money to buy the fucking White Dwarf magazines. So I monthly. When I go to work, when I used to go to work on a Thursday before I was closer to work, every Thursday lunchtime I'd go down to, not every Thursday lunchtime, actually maybe it was because I did also paint stuff in the shop and everything, but every third Thursday of the month I'd go down, I'd pick up my copy of White Dwarf, come back to the office, have a little read as I was eating my lunch. I love it. It's given me so much motivation to get stuff, and as I said off recording, I am painting in between these takes and during these takes as well. but I really enjoy the hobby. I think having the money to be able to do stuff is nice. I maybe committed a bit too hard. Need to take a step back a bit, but I've got a lot of conversions going on. My painting skills are coming back slowly, and I'm just having a great time. So I'd say White Dwarf is probably my favourite thing I've read this year. The best thing I've read this year.
Jason?
Well, of all the things I've read this year, this is definitely the one that I read. This is... it's an autobiography, and it's of Bob Mortimer, and it's called And Away.
Oh,
And
cool.
So Bob Mortimer, famously from Vic and Bob and all that stuff years ago, and I think he's an excellent storyteller, and it's basically his own autobiography of his entire life, and it sort of flashes between his sort of more current life since he had open heart surgery and kind of has a different view on things, and that's how it's changed his life and that sort of thing, and then it goes back to his school days and throughout his, like an autobiography should do. It's his life. He does state in the beginning some of these stories might be made up to make it a bit more fun. Try and guess which ones they are. But it's if you've seen it on things like Would I Lie to You and stuff like that. Yeah. I think he tells a very good story, and it's basically lots of those. And it's funny, it's moving, it's charming, and I read it, so therefore it makes the list. Yay!
Nice.
I
He's always
recommend it.
come across as an incredibly nice man.
Yes, it's a very likable.
Yeah, I get that.
I like that he does his own dentistry.
Yes.
I enjoy that.
He's had a very varied and exciting life that you wouldn't necessarily expect.
Yeah.
Good read. I recommend it.
John, how about you, mate?
For me, I haven't really had a lot of time because I've just been working non-stop for the last year. So the only thing that I've actually been reading are profiles on FetLife.
Good.
Brilliant.
Anything standing out?
The stories that are on there are quite fantastic.
You know what? Interestingly enough, I get 100% where you're coming. I used to just read the misconnections on Gumtree back when they used to have that.
Yeah.
It was so interesting. I just found it so interesting seeing people think that someone would look on Gumtree for a connection, and they're just reading like how enamoured with people they are. So you know what? Might join you, John. Might have a deep dive of FetLife as well.
You're gonna.
Well, as for me, I've fallen out of love a little bit with American comics, your Marvel and your DC, and even Image to an extent. I think guys like Boom and Dynamite are doing more interesting stuff. So I've deep dived a bit into manga, and this all came about because
This
last
is my favourite
year-
section. Sorry, this has been my favourite section to record because there's just things here. There's just things here that speak to my soul.
I've not bought any manga since probably Death Note. And it's because US comics have been taking my money, and I've walled off. I know comics is comics, but I've walled off. I can't get into that as well. Whereas this year, it's been like, well, I'm not really buying any of that. So it all came about because last year I watched all of Dragon Ball, like fucking all of it. And I've been waiting for more Dragon Ball Super for quite a while. And I was suddenly like, you fucking love comics. Buy the Dragon Ball Super comics. So I bought like fucking all of Dragon Ball and read it in order. And that's my reading of the year. Like fucking all of Dragon Ball. It's incredible. Like so much of it is different from... I watched both versions of Dragon Ball Z. The original and Kai. And it's different even to a lot of that. Like, Cell is so much better in manga than in any of the fucking adaptations.
He is just the best, isn't he?
His
He's the best
character
villain.
comes across so much... It's just because he's a psychopath. And they couldn't really do that in the animated series. And even Boo's more threatening in the manga. So yeah, I bought basically about 120 manga books this year. I've been blasting through. Kaiju number 8 is amazing.
So good.
Chainsaw Man, Way of the House Husband. I watched the anime of that, so I started getting the books. I just got the first 2 volumes of My Hero Academia. All the Ghost in the Shell stuff, of course. I've read half of that before anyway. I've just found a thing, because I like Chainsaw Man, it was a thing called No Guns Life was
Oh my
promoted
god!
to me.
No Guns
Yeah,
Life.
dude's got
No
a
Guns
gun
Life
for a
has
face. I'm
it
like,
has an
yeah,
anime.
I'm fucking into that.
It has an anime.
Get in me.
Oh my god, it's so sick. Me and my mate used to do Saturday morning cartoons in Brighton,
Yeah.
and that was one of the Sunday morning cartoons, and we go around and watch 2 anime back to back. One of them was No Guns Life, because it was just such a cool premise of a show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Also, if you enjoy Chainsaw Man, the guy has a
love
previous
Chainsaw
works
Man, it's
called
so
Fire
dumb.
Punch, and you should read Fire Punch, because it is
Yeah.
just the what the fuck aspects of Chainsaw Man cranked up to 11. It's an incredible series. It left me feeling like how watching a Coen Brothers movie leaves me feeling, which is
Yeah.
I've been cheated from a good ending, and I know that's what you wanted me to feel.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll give it a look. Yeah, Chainsaw, I love, it's come up in movies and stuff. I love, like, excessive ultraviolence for comedic effect.
Yeah.
That's what I get from Chainsaw Man. It's so ludicrous. Like, it's almost genius.
No, but some of it isn't even for comedic effect. You'll get to a point and shit does hit the fan.
I've gone through a couple of points where it's got very, very shocking and upsetting. One of them, I was like, oh, just finished. I'd had a few beers. I'd got in. I'm like, oh, I've only got about 3 chapters left. I'll finish. What the fuck? Everything has changed. Oh no. Oh no. I wish I'd waited till I was sober to read this to properly take it in. And I woke up the next morning. The first thing I did was reread it. And I'm like, no, this is oh god damn. Yeah. So I'm so happy that got an anime, because to see it actually moving as well.
Yeah.
so awesome. But yeah, no, but taking it back, it's my old love. The thing that got me, well, not the thing that got me completely into anime. The thing that made me realise anime could be an ongoing thing rather than just an Akira or Ghost in the Shell was Dragon Ball Z. When that came on TV, I'm like, right, okay, this is one of my things now. This is a thing I'm going to dive into. And all through the 2000s to the early 2010s, I was super big on anime and super big on manga and stuff. Reading it translated on websites. And yeah, so Dragon Ball, it's still amazing. Dragon Ball Super is fucking tons of fun. Goku fought a sentient planet at one point. I mean, so awesome.
Wow, you got that far in, eh?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I'm only reading the English translations because it's now like a chill before bed thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just about to take on Granola and the Oil Gang, is it?
Oh yeah, the Oil Gang.
Yeah. There's also an amazing manga I read, which is Superman just trying to have lunch, and supervillains keep attacking fucking Tokyo. It's amazing.
I think manga is such a great art form because you can get away with weekly one because it's weekly a lot of the time or monthly.
Yeah.
On the weekly ones, you can get away with either having 20 chapters been going since like 90s, like One Piece or Dragon Ball. Or you can just have
someone made One Piece into one book this year. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's insane.
An art piece.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But there's one where the Tokyo Ghoul writer he's just gone off the rails in recent years, and he put out an anime called a manga called This Gorilla Will Die in the next chapter. And literally the first chapter is just a gorilla holding a sign saying "I'm dying" in the next chapter. And then 1 week later we got the next chapter and the gorilla was dead. And that was it. It was just a 2-parter, but it was enough. I thought it was a fun little thing.
Amazing. Yeah, it's so much more. This is part of my burnout of American comics because it's not very diverse. Like no matter how far and wide you look, superheroes in the 60s killed it. It used to be so diverse, and Image and guys like Boom and Dynamite are doing the horror stuff really well. Like,
Yeah.
I'm reading a really great thing called A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, which is an Image book, and that's basically this guy, this dude, like schlubby, like normal dude, goes into the wrong building, goes into the wrong house or something, and he finds a phone that's basically, we're gonna go hit these people, and he just goes to try to stop it, being a good person. Like he's just in there and it's happening, so he tries to stop it, and then he gets just pulled into this bigger thing, but it's always just, he's just a guy and he's just trying to survive these hitmen and stuff. That's really fun and interesting, but yeah, it's unfortunately not the norm. It's either horror or superhero, and when the superhero stuff isn't that, like Spider-Man has been garbage for a few years, Batman's been garbage for a few years, and with them go a lot of my interest in the cape stuff in general, which is normally the light of my life, but you know, is what it is.
What I'd say is, tell me the last time a comic book did sports really well.
Yeah, exactly.
And I could name you 7 or 8 different manga that did sports incredibly well for different reasons.
Yeah. It's amazing that American comics can't even do wrestling well. Like,
No.
that's so there. Like, it's so
It is.
right there. But yeah,
It
US
is.
Comics is on the downtrend for me. And in a couple of years, someone will be great on Batman, someone will be great on Spider-Man. I'll be all gung-ho about it. In a minute, I'm reading lots of 70s Spider-Man, because it's an era I'm not the most familiar with. But yeah, it's quite fun. But yeah, manga is my big baby at the minute. So anyone who wants to give me any recommendations, please do so.
Retract that statement, because I don't think you understand what cesspit you're opening yourself to.
No, I'm
terms of me
into it.
giving you
I'm into it, man.
recommendations.
I'm going over to Forbidden Planet once a month because they've always got those 3 for 2 offers on.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting about 9 books, 9 to 12 books, and just like, yeah, that'll do me for a few weeks. And then I'm like, I've burned through them. Have I read my copy of Retro Gamer? Yep. Amazon, then give me some of the stuff that, because Forbidden Planet only carries like the Forbidden Planet near me only carries the really big thing. It's great. Last time I was in the big Forbidden Planet in London, like downstairs they've got like a big
there's a whole, it's like half of
section
the
for the manga,
downstairs
and then
part.
the porn stuff over the other side. Like,
Yeah.
there's such a massive array of different stuff in there.
They know what their
next
market
time
is
I'm in
as
London
well.
in March, I'm gonna take a list and just spend about £100.
You got to be careful, because I bought all of. I'm a huge Gundam fan. I think I've said that on the channel before.
Yeah.
I bought Gundam Thunderbolt because I watched the series. Thunderbolt was an incredible series. It's just like, there's no good guys, no bad guys. It's just part of the Universal Century War. But the big backing behind it is a musical score. One guy
Right.
likes free jazz, one guy's likes 90s Japanese pop, and so depending on who you're following, the scene has different backing, and it
Wow.
really accurately summates the clash of ideals and everything. And then they only did the first 8 chapters of the manga over 2 series, and I was like, what? No, I need to finish this. Bought them all, can't find fucking chapter 5 anywhere. Like, literally could not find chapter 5 anywhere. Went to because there's loads of stores that sell manga in London. There's another store actually I can point you to near the Forbidden Planet, just further into
Yeah, what are they
Soho.
called?
You're asking a lot for me to remember it off the top of my head.
Oh, I
I'll
can't
have to
remember
look at
the
it on
name, but I
maps.
know which one you mean.
Yeah.
It's opposite
That's
a
right. I'll
very,
put
very
Manga
good
Store Soho.
Italian.
Duck and Rice. You're going to say the Chinese place?
No. We need to
No.
go there again.
Yeah, definitely. So there. Oh yeah, it's near Wonky. Yeah, you were gonna say yeah, very near Wonky. And where the old sex shop used to be in Tottenham Court, it was like the only place in London you could buy Viagra.
Yeah.
Because I used to have to walk past it every time I went to the shop, and I was like, huh, can you even advertise that? I'm not sure, but now it's all built up. That shop is still there though, and the manga shop too. So. Yeah. Oh, we should just have a podcast episode talking about anime and manga. And
That'd be awesome.
I
Yeah.
will hop on for that.
Yeah, the anime thing is kicked back in because I saw the really generic name, Demon Slayer movie.
Oh, it's so good.
And like me and my mate, we were like, we always try to go see anime when it's at Cineworld.
Yeah.
And they hadn't done it. It's been building it up the last couple of years, and we saw that, so we're just like, we'll watch the first episode, get an idea of what we're doing, then we'll go watch it. And we both left the movie going, I'm almost in tears. I don't know who any of the characters are, and this done such a great job of showing who they are, what their
motivations are,
what their relationships are, and in basically sitting there for an hour and a half and going, okay, this is the movie, it's resolved. There's 20 minutes left. We're now going to tear out your fucking heart.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, Jesus Christ.
It's even worse if you watched the series before, because you've literally
I've now gone back and
seen
watched
him
it
for
all,
like
and
20 minutes, and
Yeah.
then that happens.
Yeah. So yeah, I've now gone back and watched all of the show, and I'm getting it. I need to catch up a little bit because they're in Japan. I get it from there.
Yeah.
I need to catch up a little bit. I've gone through the TV version of that arc. And need to move on forward from there.
It's
yeah.
I'd say it's a testament as well that a show would be trending all over the world because of how beautifully animated it was, and
Yeah,
Ufotable
absolutely.
deserve all the roses for how well they animate the really important scenes.
Yeah.
I've completed the manga. The manga is finished, and it is all in English, and you can read it all. And
Yeah.
Demon
Is
Michael
it?
Jackson, yeah.
Okay.
And Demon Michael Jackson is an incredible villain. I have to admit, like,
So I might just start picking that up then.
yeah, you should. You should.
When I go to Forbidden Planet in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to do My Hero Academia first because there's so much of it. I kind of wanted to get out of the. But I might do Demon Slayer first.
I think
What about,
Demon Slayer is only like 300 chapters, there-ish. So it's quite a short read, all things considered.
What about Jujutsu Kaisen? I didn't think the movie did a great job of selling it.
The movie, okay. Should we save this for another time, or do you want me to go into explaining why this is?
Go for it.
Okay,
That's what we're here for.
Cool. So, Jujutsu Kaisen, incredible show, incredible anime. The movie does not cover anything from the original show. The movie,
I read that after. It's like a prequel thing, right?
It was a prequel thing that it was called Tokyo Metropolitan School, and it was a prequel that sort of set up the world, and the author had done just as a taster to see, would there be interest in this? So it follows a character that has been reintroduced into the manga as well now, and he's so fucking sick. Oh, he's so cool. But it does a great job. There were scenes in the movie where if you haven't watched the show, you haven't read Tokyo Metropolitan, you wouldn't understand that they were added in. But the scenes where all the second years and some of the characters from the main show there was not in the original manga. They added that in to be like, look, it ties in and everything. And I mean, there are character overlaps. But the movie is really good. I hated watching it at cinema. It was my worst cinematic experience this year, because put a bunch of weebs in a cinema, it's always going to be fucking shit. None of them understand how to act in a cinema. I had to tell so many people, shut the fuck up and trying to watch a movie here. But
oh man,
that's great. And then it's the prequel, and then you get into Jujutsu Kaisen, and Jujutsu Kaisen is probably one of the best manga to have. So I've been reading that since the beginning. Probably one of the best mangas I've been reading in recent memory, and Gigi just keeps upping himself. He just keeps pushing the limit of what is fucking fantastic. And the next season is gonna, the same way that Demon Slayer did, the next season is gonna break down the barrier of anime entry, because if they keep animating it the way they've animated it, season 2 is gonna be fucking insane, and people are just gonna be talking about it.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, I'll pick that back up then. I didn't feel the movie had necessarily done it justice, because the books are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's talking about it, so it's just like, maybe this movie just didn't quite grab me, but cool. And that brings us around to best food and or food activity. Adam, go!
Okay, so I can do best food and best activity all in one. So
Wait. Now, I've learned well from John. Is it your wife?
No.
Wait,
it is
wait,
not.
what?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Why would that come from me?
And I'm now slightly worried about what you know. John, I said that was a secret, dude. Anyway, yes. So I went to a lovely fete, and a
lovely
Christmas
fete?
Yes, a lovely Christmas fete. And while there, I saw this stall that said the Mouse House cheese, and I was like, "Oh, I love me a bit of cheese." And so
I
I
thought you
went
say you
over
love
there.
your bit of mice. That's like secretly a cat.
And yeah, and I tried all of them. They have many different flavors, but my favorite and the creamiest of all creamy cheeses is caramelized onion cheddar. Oh, it was absolutely lovely. It's basically got this caramelized onion chutney running through the cheese, and it is heavenly. Oh, so good. The Mouse House cheese. Definitely look it up, buy it. It's fabulous. That is my best food.
That does sound nice.
Yeah, you've actually really sold me on that. That sounds incredible.
Yeah, and they got tons of flavours as well. They've even got a black pepper one, which I thought would taste disgusting, but
Oh,
actually
I'd like
tastes
that.
quite good.
I'd like that
Tastes
very
quite
much.
Have they got a cranberry one?
They
I'm
do.
partial to a bit of cranberry. Oh.
There's one with cranberry. Yeah, there's everything you can imagine. Yeah, loads of different flavours.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah. The
So
Mouse
your
House
favourite-
cheese.
Meal experience is cheese.
Well, best food. It's technically best food. So yeah. And it was an experience to go to the fete as well. So it was all. There was lots of food stuff there. There was Christmas pies and Christmas cakes and loads of Christmas cookies and stuff like that. But yeah, Mouse House cheese. Oh,
And then secular cheese.
they had everything. They had different ways of cooking sausages in blankets, which I spent a long time at that store. I have
Upside down? It's like, how many different ways can you cook?
Flamethrower.
Are you talking about fried? Are you talking about
Gliding across
like
the
microwaved?
Oh, this guy had many different ways, and
Radiator?
it was all with this one recipe. He basically had he had the sausage.
He had the pig and he had the
If he's got
blanket.
one recipe, then that's one way.
No. He had the
Why?
sausage, and then he had the cheese. He had cheese wrapped around the sausage, and then the bacon wrapped around that. And then he had loads of different like little bits of seasoning on it, and then he fried it. He did the one in the oven, and then he had an air fryer, and all of them tasted slightly different, but divine. Really
Sounds
good.
like he's got a recipe, he's just not following it. He's just doing whatever he feels like.
Basically.
So Adam,
I've
right?
got
You
the
said
ingredients.
you said he had
Pick a
one
mix.
with cheese.
Yeah. So
Was it the cheese that you
inside-
really liked from before? Because that would have blown your mind.
It wasn't the
Yeah,
Mouse House
could you not have
cheese.
given
It
him
wasn't
the Mouse House cheese?
I could have.
Was he accepting like hand-ins?
I could have, but I just brought that, so I was like, I'm not giving it away.
No. Did you have a little moment where you looked at the cheese and you looked at the pig and blanket and you looked back at the cheese and you haven't like moral quandary?
No, the cheese won hands down. It was just like, no, I'm not giving this away.
Were these stalls next to each other? Because then you could have just said, "Listen, just get together, just
Yeah. Just
have a
over there.
baby."
No, they weren't, unfortunately. They were on the other side. But
The food baby.
I thought the manga tangent at the end of the last part was going to be the longest tangent we went off on, but no, apparently cheese wins.
Nice, Adam's cheese.
I love cheese. Don't get me started
I
on cheese.
agree.
I love cheese.
I will be looking
Yeah.
this up when we're done. Cameron, what about you?
Oh, big sigh.
Well, I've been a very well-travelled man this year.
Is it cheese again?
It does have cheese in it,
Ah.
actually. So I went to Italy this year for the first time. And listen, I'm a very big pizza man, and I have very strict rules about pizza. If you go to a new pizza place,
Oh.
you get a margarita the first time, because that way you know if it's actually worth it or not, right? I think that's fair. That's a
Basic
reasonable
pizza?
assumption. You get a good
Yeah.
you get a good baseline because you know the fundamentals are there. Now, I will also preface this with I do not consider Domino's or Pizza Hut, even though it has pizza in the name, I don't consider it, or Uncle John's. It's not Uncle John's, Papa John's. Uncle John is what I call him behind closed doors. I don't consider any of those pizzas, right? They're not. They are fast food. They're not pizzas. They're shit. But that's not up for debate either. Come at me, whoever, whenever. I don't care. Now, so I was in Florence, and we were walking to go and see the sunset, and we walked past this little pizza place, and I'd seen it before, recommended as like one of the best pizzerias in Florence. I was like, oh, we have to go. So we go in. The man working the oven doesn't speak a lick of English. He speaks a lot of Italian. It would be concerning if he didn't speak a lick of Italian.
I was about to say, yeah.
But I was just so enamoured. It was like a part of my childhood. We used to have a pizza place near us that we used to go to frequently. They'd let me go behind and make the pizzas and everything, roll out the dough. And I was just, it was just a magical little place. Yeah, pretty much. Still had to pay for the pizza that I made at the end of the day. So, you know, basically they got free wages. But this, yeah, so I watched this man make this pizza. I was just in love with the place. I watched this man make my pizza. Beautiful, beautiful thing. And in fact, I got a pizza that was just, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like a margarita. It did have a tomato. It had yellow tomatoes on it, and it had cheese on it. But there wasn't anything. There was no red sauce.
Oh.
And this pizza was so good that I didn't actually realise there was no red sauce until I had a try of my girlfriend, and my brain became painfully aware, like, oh, there's no red sauce on this, and that was a testament to how good that pizza is.
Wow.
I didn't notice one of the most crucial ingredients of a pizza missing. This pizza was so good. The man then let me go behind and have a look at the oven, showed me all the ingredients, showed me him making the pizza. Our waiter was kind enough to translate for me just how enamoured I was. We then went outside. My girlfriend took a picture of all three of us stood outside. Like it was a fantastic. So that was my favourite food experience.
And when the picture
Was it
developed,
within the
he
bread?
realised it was a Domino's.
Was it all within the bread? That's what I want to know.
What do you mean? Was it all within the bread? Do
So
you mean?
the taste,
that's
if
a
there's no
calzone.
red sauce, was it all within the bread?
No, the toppings
it
as
got
well.
the
I just think it
tomatoes
was
on,
just so meticulously well done. I think every part just brought up the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. I think there's like 3 or 4 food experiences that I have a really good baseline for pizza, but this has transcended everything that I thought a pizza could be. So it can't be considered a pizza in a complete different way to Domino's and Papa John's and Pizza Hut. It's like if there was a spectrum of pizza taste, this has just shattered the upper limit, and those things are swimming down below the lower limit in a little cesspool.
Yeah.
But yeah, this pizza was just unbelievable.
They're swimming around in the pissy shits you get when you eat their pizzas.
Yeah,
Inevitably.
pretty much.
I dislike
much, but
Domino's
yeah,
intensely.
But yeah, that was my favourite food experience this year. That pizza was just divine.
Nice.
Jason, top that. You need to top
I
that
can't
and
top that.
cheese. Come on.
I can't. I'm going to lower that baseline again, and I'm going to bring it. I've really struggled with this one. I've eaten a bunch
Jason, if you say Domino's, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
I agree with you. Domino's. I don't go Domino's. It's annoying. I'll go Pizza Town. I won't go Domino's. But I'm a bit against your whole margarita theory. It's for you. It's fine. I've been in Florence. I didn't get a margarita. I find that a bit. I go for what I fancy on the menu rather than. I don't know how often you're going back that you need to start a baseline and work up from that. I will just. What do I fancy? They had like pizzas with egg and mushroom and fungi and everything. I know it's just mushrooms, but
A Florentine.
a Florentine.
Pizza with egg.
Well, that's what I go for. I don't get that around here. I don't know. Anyway,
Fair enough.
so if I could say my favourite food, it was back in 1996 when I went to Florence. That was really good. But yeah, I've really struggled. I've had a bunch of disappointing meals, so I'm going to go sentimental and say a bunch of different Christmas dinners where I have got to meet up with lots of different groups of friends I don't usually get to see. I've had quite a few different Christmas dinners in the last few weeks. And it's just because we're of an age now, well, I'm of an age now, where you don't see many people very often. And it's not, and people, when you get close to Christmas, they try to make an effort and go, oh, we really should see each other, let's do this. So a lot of people start doing Christmas dinners. And so I didn't really like the food. In fact, most of us just moaned about the food the whole time. But it's a nice get-together moment where you sit around and you all whinge about the food and pull crackers and make silly jokes and just see people you haven't seen in a while. And so that is, I know,
That's
that
nice.
is what I'm going to say, because if not, I'm just ranting about meal deals and the fact you can't get chocolate in some
Whoa,
pharmacies
hold on,
anymore.
hold on.
Whoa, what?
Let's rant about meal deals.
Well, last year I got
Fuck
people had to
this
go at me
soppy
for
shit.
talking about negatives at this point.
No,
So I'm trying.
listen. John, no, sorry, not John. Fuck.
Jason? Wow.
What, you don't think I've got opinions about meal deals?
No, I think he's saying
I'm
that
sorry.
Jason is the Dominoes of this podcast.
No, Jason, I'm sorry.
I don't even count as a dino.
No, listen, Jason, I'm with you there, 110%. Anyone that knows me will tell you I am fucking outraged by the state of meal deals. I was pissed off that the meal deal went to £3.50 without a club card. That is a basic fucking human right at that price. They're shit sandwiches. You can't charge me more money for the shit sandwiches and not improve the quality of the sandwiches. I don't care. You're not spending any more money on them. I don't give a fuck. It's offset by everything else in the fucking company. Alright? Now, they put it up another 40p, it's £3.90. Okay? That's ridiculous, Tesco's. Every little helps. Every little helps my fucking arse. If you were for the people, you wouldn't have done that. And don't even get me started on Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's used to be the pinnacle of fucking meal deals. Back in the day, you could get a Taste of Different sandwich in your meal deal. Now, you go in there, they've got this fancy new pay £5 to upgrade your meal deal. £5 fucking pound for the same Taste of Different sandwich I was getting, what, 8-9 years ago? You're telling me the economy has gone down that much that you can't put that fucking sandwich. Bear in mind, there's only ever 4 of them on the shelf anyway. What, you can't put that sandwich in a meal deal? Just leave it to survival of the fittest, let the first person in there get that as a treat. Fucking ridiculous. Sorry. Oh, God, I hate
It
it.
sounds like you're on the set of Gladiators. You've got to run through a sword course to get yourself a meal deal.
I would say I've never had a good sandwich from Sainsbury's.
Yeah, it's
No,
I
listen,
agree
their
with that.
Taste of Difference ones, their Taste of Difference pastrami sandwich,
I don't
the
think I've ever
fucking
seen a
Reuben
Taste of
knockoff that they
Difference
had
sandwich.
was unbelievable. Oh, they come in like little purple boxes, they look proper like lunchboxy, they're very preppy, and I'm sorry I've just absolutely curtailed this really nice wholesome moment that Jason was having.
It's fine.
He mentioned
Happy.
meal deals and I just see red.
No, the underpinning message of Jason's was he got charged an arm and a leg for bad Christmas meals and doesn't make enough of an effort to reach out to his friends. You've done nothing to derail the overall message of Jason's point.
No, Jason was making a lovely point, a wholesome point of seeing friends at Christmas and having nice meals with them, and I think that's very sweet. I think that's probably the best meal you could have this
Yeah.
year.
That was a good one.
I don't know, I've had some nice meal deal sandwiches that were better than some of the awful Christmas
Jason,
dinners
don't
I've had.
start.
It was like a stain on a plate the other day. I don't know what that was. It was like a skid mark.
Oh, what, you put your meal deal on the plate?
It was I'm talking Christmas dinners, not meal deals.
Oh.
No, the
Where,
meal deals
where
are
was this? Are
quite
you
well
going to name and
presented.
shame?
No, of course not. And
No.
I've had several different Christmas dinners, so
I'm
They've all
fairly
been a bit
certain the
under
local
par this
Sudbury
year, to be
pubs
honest.
aren't going to be listening to this podcast.
I'm going to send it round to the beach
well,
individually. I'm going to go around every pub.
I've had several. So if you're listening, it wasn't you; it was the other one. Unless you want to go for another free one. Your food is usually very lovely. I'm sure it's just you're making it for everybody at the same time. Yeah, I'm also a bit angry about. I know this is the best of. But I'm a bit angry about the fact they've taken chocolate out of the Boots meal deals. They don't do chocolate anymore. It's unhealthy.
So
Loads of
what is it
crisps
now?
are there,
Crisps
but no
and all of
chocolate.
those like allegedly healthy
things.
It's crisps.
Fresca's
And
bar
I can't
things.
eat nuts. So everything else has got nuts in now, so I can't have any of those. Rubbish. Anyway, that's the best experience this year. Thanks for that. Of food, in my experience.
John,
Passing the baton.
what are you going to say, mate?
I really don't know what the subject is anymore because I've got like going off on some political speech on his soapbox about how meal deals are ruining the country. I mean,
Meal deals are ruining the country.
I think the country's ruining meal deals.
It's like...
have you tried the meal deal at Amazon Prime stores or Amazon Fresh?
Right, I have, actually.
even know they did 'em.
I have an interesting opinion on those. I think the hot food's worth it. I think the cold food's utter garbage.
Their meal deals are pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, you get a pretty good bang for your buck. However, I am suckling on the teat of Papa Bezos, and I don't necessarily feel great about that.
Fair play.
Hmm.
Well, I mean,
But John,
yeah,
your favourite meal?
my favourite meal.
experience.
Well, I can tell you now, I've not been to Florence, so I can't tell you anything about the pizza from Cam and Jason's experience. But I'm going to tell you. A food experience that I've had this year. It was two of the guys that used to work for me. Unfortunately, that their contracts were not extended, and
Did you make them buy you dinner and then tell them at the end?
No. It's a lot different to that. One of them was like fixated on going to this restaurant, and he wouldn't stop going on about it. So I gave in. I said, "Fine, we'll go." And it's a restaurant called Sticky Mango in Southwark.
Oh, okay.
And there was 4 of us who went, and obviously 2 of the guys were leaving. The other one was their manager. And we sat down to eat, and we ate a ton of food. We ordered so much stuff off that menu. It was presented. The actual plates were beautiful. My food came out, which I got barbecue, pork chops, and it came out really bizarrely, in all honesty. Honestly, I think the service was a little bit pretentious, and they didn't actually know how to serve people properly. But what I can say about that whole experience is, when the bill came at the end, I was just stunned at how little food we actually got for 240 quid.
Whoa!
Between 4 of us. And I turned around to the manager and I said, you know what, that wasn't worth it. And not that I'm going to rubbish their food.
Yeah.
It was very nice. It just wasn't worth 240 quid. And it was still early. It was still 8 o'clock. So we went across the road, and then I spent another 70 quid on food in there. So
Domino's?
we were still hungry. We went to a pub and bought even more rubbish pub food.
After
So the whole night. Yeah, it was quite expensive. Now, I won't tell you, that was a rubbish food experience for me. Sticky Mangoes is not worth the money, in my opinion. But my best experience has to be going all the way to New Malden to try Korean fried chicken and Korean barbecue.
Did you get the whole chicken?
No, we got the chicken legs
Nice.
or chicken wings even, and it is phenomenal. The Korean fried chicken, it is literally. It comes, you obviously can get it plain. You can get it with yam yam sauce, which is probably my favourite. It's it's got a tiny little bit of a kick. They do, soy chicken and ones with garlic. It is the best fried chicken ever because it's not greasy. It doesn't feel like that. After you've eaten it, it doesn't feel like you've bathed in a ton of grease and oil. And then we went back and we actually got Korean barbecue, which, if any of you have done Korean barbecue, it's you get all the meat and you cook it yourself on a hot plate in front of you. And it is fantastic.
I've done that.
It's just
I like that.
it's something to really enjoy with your friends.
Yeah, it's good fun. Unless your friend's a dickhead and gives you food poisoning. Otherwise, it's great fun.
Well, luckily none of that happened here.
I envy you.
But yeah, Korean fried chicken, Korean barbecue, top notch. And the Korean barbecue, I thought it was going to be super, super expensive. Maybe not as much as Sticky Mangoes. But then the bill came, and it was ridiculously cheap. It's like, I need to
It's even
pay you
better.
double for what this experience is. Yeah. So those are my 2 experiences.
I'm really hungry now.
Yeah,
I'm so hungry. God, I want Korean barbecue so bad. I love it. I love it.
Well, the only problem with Korean barbecue, and I don't know whether this is a blessing or a curse, is because I have to travel 2 hours to get there. If it was any closer, I'd probably eat there every day.
Yeah, I'm really hungry. Let's move on.
As for mine, I've lost the name of it. I was going to give them a shout out, but I've lost the name of it. I'll flash it up on screen if I can find it. My favourite thing, I mentioned it on the podcast. I went to a 3-day horathon a month or so ago, and
Oh,
after
yes, yeah.
having watched our third movie about cannibalism, we were all outside waiting for gourmet burgers, discussing the film, and then I got this incredible gourmet burger. It was really fucking good as well. I got to go back in the big screen and watch that, eat that while watching Event Horizon, one of my favourite like sit back and relax horror movies. So yeah, that was my food experience of the year, and a mighty good one it was too.
Very nice.
Nice.
Did they tell you where the meat was sourced?
Well,
Was it disguised as a hand?
I did ask the guy running it because he came out just as we were all doing it. And I was like, no, there's no tie up here. We're definitely not getting rid of the bodies. And I believed him. And so we move on to best activity. Adam, what's the best thing you did this year?
My best activity came
Eating
rather.
that cheese.
No, it came after the cheese. It
Was
came
it
very
really
late in the
satisfying
year.
shit?
Yeah, just directly afterwards. No.
That can be
It was. I took me and my wife took the kids to the Polar Express at Tunbridge Wells, and
They were eaten by
you get to go
bears.
on
There
the
were 0
Rainbow.
survivors. Horrifying.
you get to go on the Spa Valley Railway for a very unique Christmas experience, and I have to say, it was magical. It was absolutely magical. The kids' eyes were like wide with their jaws dropped. The actors that they hire, phenomenal. Really, really good actors. They don't break character either. From the moment you step in to the train station to the moment you step out, they're constantly in character, and yeah, it's absolutely great. We actually paid slightly more for the premium version, and with the premium version you get these really cool hot chocolate mugs, and some other little bits and pieces, and then halfway through you get your hot chocolate like in the movie with your cookie, and that was really nice as well. And
When you say hot chocolate mugs, do you mean mugs made of chocolate, or
no, mugs specifically for hot chocolate.
okay?
What
Yeah,
makes them
they've got-
specifically for hot chocolate?
There was
Well,
hot
they've got a
chocolate
little-
in them when he's bought it.
If
That's
you
not
put
what
any other liquid in there, it's fucked.
Shatters.
Shatters to pieces.
No. I'm sure you agree, but that they've got a little hole in the handle with a little spoon that goes in the little hole, and so you can take it out and mix your hot chocolate up.
Hot chocolate is a liquid.
Yeah.
You don't need to be
Yeah, they
eating
need
it
to
with a
mix it.
spoon.
But you got to constantly mix hot chocolate. And you make it
I've
really
got one
nice.
of those mugs at home, and I've never made hot chocolate in it.
Ah,
Am I
Have you
doing it
made
wrong?
anything in it?
I've had tea in it. I've had coffee in it. I've broken the spoon, to be honest with you.
Well, it's just a normal mug, isn't it? At that point,
No, it's got a hole. It's got a hole where the spoon should go.
normal mug for a mug. That's what I say. Simple as.
No,
It heats
this
up.
is it's got the little spoon, and then on the outside it's got a very Christmassy scene with the picture of the Polar Express on it, and perfect Christmas hot chocolate mug. And
Were
Said
your-
more about
were
this
your
mug
kids
than the fucking
traumatised?
train.
Yeah. No, I have an important question.
Go
Were
for it.
your kids traumatised by a homeless Tom Hanks on the roof, or did they miss that part out? 'Cause I feel like-
my son, my oldest, laughed out loud when that guy came along.
Oh, he actually came.
Yeah.
What
Well,
the fuck?
not actually Tom Hanks, obviously, just the actor.
Well, obviously not actually Tom Hanks.
Yeah, an actor playing him, obviously, but the character came through, and because my son had seen the film and was quite a fan of the film, he just started bursting out laughing.
I was terrified of him. Your sons are harder nut than me. I was. Oh.
Yeah, but my youngest just sort of looked up and was like, "Oh, who's that?" Yeah, but And then Father Christmas came along, and we got to see Father Christmas, and he gave us all the little bell that the actor gets at the end. And it was great. It was a really good experience, really fun, family-filled day. It is a whole day.
It's like a
even
bit
though
like
the
Secret
experience-
Cinema, but for little kids.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, you need a day to do it, but the experience itself is about 2.5 hours. But there's like lots of little stalls you can mill around in the actual train station, and they're all sort of in character as well. And yeah, the whole train station. You can actually go on the train station itself just to go on a steam train on other parts of the year, Tunbridge Wells. But yeah, it's a great little place. And there was even the old station. It's not actually part of the station now. It's just on the roundabout next to it. But the old station, they've turned it into it's almost like a harvester. It's not a harvester, but it's like a harvester. And we went in there and had a lovely meal in there. That was really nice. Yeah, just a really good day out. Really good family-filled fun. I express you to go because it's really good. It really is good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cameron, what about you? And does it revolve around pizza?
No, I'm also gonna go on that like wholesome, feel-good side of things. And you know, I didn't actually think it was, but thinking about it probably wins out over everything else. Now, getting back into Warhammer, it's pretty up there for me, to be honest. I'm loving it, loving the hobby. But my favourite experience this year has actually been going and seeing my girlfriend do her Irish dancing competitions.
Nice.
It just genuinely has been a really nice experience just watching her dance and be passionate about something so much that she's going and competing and everything. We're going to Worlds next year, so yeah, I've just enjoyed. Now, listen, don't get me wrong, I fucking hate the music, and the music is in a lot of places the same music on repeat for the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to shit on the experience. You just said
And
like,
I've had. Hey, just because I don't like the music doesn't mean I don't enjoy the dancing. It's the fact that it's the same song almost all day. That's what gets it. Like, I leave the place and it's all I can think of. And for the next week, it's all that's in my. It's all consuming. But yeah, in the moment, just watching her, and she's amazing at it as well. Done a lot of winning this year, so it's been a fun experience.
That's lovely.
Nice.
Jason,
Yes.
you gonna keep us afloat with an uplifting tale of your own?
It's not uplifting. Well, it actually is technically uplifting. I really hope this was this year. It's when we went up Scaffold Pike.
That was this year.
Good. I was doubting it. Yeah, me and Sean went and climbed the highest mountain in England. Well, walked up it, not really climbed it. And it is a good thing because it's compared to the previous year, which was Snowdon. I didn't kill my legs. I actually felt like I'd achieved something and felt relatively okay when we got back down again, and we had a nice meal and stuff like that. It was a nice day. I wasn't just willing to just put my legs in casts and die at that point, which I kind of felt like the previous year, which was all the way down was agony. Whereas Scaffold Pike, nice little jaunt up and down to the pub. Yes. No, it wasn't that good because we couldn't go to the pub, could we? Because there was that cat pub and it wouldn't let us in. Yes. Rubbish day.
No, we couldn't go to the cat pub. That was closed.
We couldn't go to the cat pub. Had a big photo of a cat's face. Couldn't go in it. It was closed. So, anyway, Scaffold Pike was good. So it had ups and downs. But that was it. It was a good day.
I think that's generally how climbs go, mate.
They say you need to walk backwards.
I tried that. I tried backwards, sideways, like crawling on my bum like a dog. You know, all that way. None of it works. No, it was pretty good this year. I felt. I don't think I've got any fitter, so I just think it's easier. Or I was slightly more prepared. I don't know. Yeah, it was alright. It's good. It was a good.
You did very well.
Well, couple of days out on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. Would do again. Well, actually, probably
that.
wouldn't.
It's cool.
But we'd think about it.
John,
I mean, best activities. You know, sometimes it's the mundane things, you know, that you can do, which can really elevate things if you haven't done them in a while. I haven't been swimming in 2 years, mainly because of the pandemic. Because the you know the ability to actually get into swimming pools has been kind of like cut down. But recently, I just went swimming, and I really enjoyed getting back in a pool and swimming for just a couple of hours a week. Something that I need to kind of get back to doing on a regular or more regular basis. But
do you still
other
have
than
to
that,
book?
no, that's the thing that's changed, because what happened was everybody just booked it out.
Yeah.
And even if they turned up or not. But yeah, now it's stopped. Everything's back to regular. So yeah,
that's good.
just swim, and obviously, some more really good experiences is still just having Marble around, and just playing with him every day. Can't beat a good cat.
Aw.
Love Marvel.
Can't beat a good cat.
Quality cat.
He's good fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're talking about actual experiences, I went to see some meerkats earlier in the year.
Whoa!
Got into the I had a meerkat experience where you could sit down with them, and they give
Oh,
you
I've seen
like
those.
little worms to feed them, and they run around you for like 20-25 minutes. Feed them, they sit on you, and do that funny kind of thing like try to sell you car insurance. It was really good fun. And then afterwards, they put on a show with birds of prey, and they had lots of birds of prey just like flying around. One of them actually kind of landed, hopped over to me, and kind of sat on my lap, and jumped off.
Nice.
That's kind of. But then, probably the most enjoyable experience was actually going to Secret Cinema Dirty Dancing, which has been put off for so long
Really
that we
has.
actually finally got to go and
That
do
was
it.
quality. That was quality.
It was fun. Really enjoyed. I mean, it's surprising how old that film is and how short it actually is. It's only
Do you
about an
know-
hour and 35 minutes.
Do you know, that was going to be my choice of best activity until the Polar Express.
Yeah, so it was just a good time. Just seeing all the stalls, dancing, going into that secret area.
Yeah, that secret area was awesome.
What, the cinema?
Yeah, so basically when we went in,
No, I was making a shit joke.
Yeah.
I was making a shit joke. Don't worry.
all the actors obviously already in character, and they tell you like, if you go around the back and just say Johnny, or say that line, I've got the watermelons or something, or whatever it was. That's in the movie, and then
carried a
they
watermelon.
let you into the club, and where all like the staff members are, and you just have, it's basically a disco pretty much. But yeah,
It's pretty
that was awesome. I managed to get one of them jackets with the camp written
Kellerman's.
on the back. Yeah, Kellerman's written on the back.
All right.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Well, it sounds like Adam's had a better experience than me.
Has he been swimming though? No.
Sean, what about you?
Yeah, I'm somewhat similar to your swimming thing in that getting back to something that's not been around for a long time. For me, it was live music. I got a band or two in last year, 2021, but with COVID and shutdowns and everything, it wasn't a lot. So this year I've seen a whole bunch of bands, lots of really great bands, most of whom I haven't seen live before or haven't seen live in over a decade. And yeah, it's just like it feels like reconnecting with a huge and important part of myself to be standing in a crowd listening to a band play live. It's one of those things that I didn't realise how much I missed until I was standing there experiencing it and getting happier and getting like that massive rush. And yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic getting back to live bands. I've already booked like 3 for next year.
Cool.
And I suppose you could go that for live performances in general. I've done by and large one a month this year, but yeah, live music is really the one that I'd missed. So yeah, that's my best activity, getting back to live music. It's been glorious. And now we move down to the depths of the biggest disappointment of the year. Adam, what has disappointed you this year?
Oh, Glad that carried on.
I'm glad that sentence carried on. It did just stop at Adam. So I've moved away from all the world politics and all that crap that goes on, because I feel everybody knows that by now. And I moved on to something a bit more personal. And if people are avid listeners of the Dinocast, they all know I'm currently doing up my house, and I had one last big push to get the house finished before selling it, and I ordered a massive delivery of so big, huge ton bags of sand. So it was actually there was 5 ton bags of sand. There was slabs, there was cement, a shingle, there's membrane, loads and loads of stuff. I was going to order it from one of my normal delivery companies that I normally go to for this sort of stuff, but as there is a B&Q literally 3 minute drive from my house, I thought, and it's a massive one, I thought I'll order from them because they're just there. I'm going to be like first delivery out the door. I'm right on the doorstep. That, you know, I'll get it from them. So I order it, and they say, yeah, absolutely no problem. It will arrive on Monday. So I thought, okay, I'll take that week off. That's perfect. So I took the whole week off. Waiting around all Monday, didn't come. Damn it. Right, I'll call up. So I called up and I said, yeah, look, big delivery is meant to come today. Just hasn't arrived. You know, it's already reached the 7 o'clock time. And they're like, oh, let me check on that. So I entered in the details. And, oh, sorry, yeah. Our driver went ill, so there was one driver short. So we're gonna rearrange it. So got rearranged for the next day. Same thing happened the next day. No delivery. Called up again, and the same thing happened. Oh, sorry, yeah, he's still ill. I said, all right, this is 2 days on the trot now. Like, surely you can get another driver. I'm 3 minutes down the road. And he went, no, you're not 3 minutes down the road. I went, no, I'm literally 3 minutes down the road. Like the big, massive B&Q 3 minutes down the road. He went, oh, you're on about the B&Q in... I went, yeah. And he said, oh, no, the delivery's not coming from... I went, why? He said, oh, I don't know, it got passed on to us in Southend. Huh.
Fuck.
Right. Okay. Why? I don't know, it's just the computers, this is what it does. Right. Okay, they're still not miles away. Can you please just get my delivery to me? Yeah, it'll be with you tomorrow, Wednesday. That scenario happened another 4 times, and it was a complete nightmare. That week I specifically took off to do my driveway and everything. Didn't happen because I didn't get the materials. In the end, it took my wife getting on the phone. And when my wife goes on the phone and she's angry at somebody, God forbid who's on the other end. This guy got an ear battering. And eventually it turned up in drips and drabs, and I did get it done. But yeah, by far of the year, that has got to be my biggest disappointment. B&Q's delivery. Yes.
Well, there goes that sponsorship deal. Thanks, Adam.
Well, Adam, just following on from your experience, would you like to tell everybody about the experience that should have happened today?
That was all my fault, and I did apologise. I've got a lot going on. I was meant to order John a delivery for his loft, and I thought I'd clicked the order button when I was doing it all, but apparently I hadn't, because I received a message before John's today from the company saying, complete your order now. I was like, what? What am I getting? And then I got John's message, when's the delivery coming today, mate?
Oh,
I've stayed at home all today waiting for this thing.
Oh,
Well, I
you
planned
was
to stay
home
home.
already. I know that for a fact. You
we're
was
now all on
already home
B&Q's
already.
side. You ordered
can't
it
put
from
that
the
one on
wrong
me.
branch. They tried to help you. They got screamed at by your wife.
No, they're quite good. I got on straight away, and it will be delivered tomorrow, hopefully. And I didn't order it from B&Q.
All right, Cameron, what has been your biggest disappointment of the year?
So I'm going to give two. One's very recent. I'm going to give two. One's very recent. One is my mum's just got COVID, and so I can't go spend her birthday with her. That's
Ah,
a bit shit.
Oh.
Had the day booked off and all. And while she will be fine, my dad has it, so I don't really want to get it because I had a pretty shit reaction last time I got it.
dude.
So not really looking forward to that.
does that knock Christmas on the head as well, or would you not go see them?
No,
for that?
she'll be she'll be fine by Christmas.
Yeah,
She's okay to go out on Wednesday, but I just can't go to theirs.
yeah.
Is essentially it. But this is going to be. I say this with a really heavy heart. It was actually returning to the cinema. Was my biggest.
Really thought you was going
disappointment
to returning to the Iron Dinos there.
this year. No. I think my first cinema experience this year was the Jujutsu Kaisen movie.
Yeah.
Now, and I touched upon this earlier, but the thing about the pandemic is there's a generation of people that didn't have formulative experiences in public places. So you go to music concerts, there are people moshing to songs that don't have drops, and it's fucking annoying. You go to the cinema, there are people talking really loud, like they're sat on their sofa watching a film. Now,
Is it complaining to B&Q about the
just
lack
hear it
of
echoing,
delivery?
rattling throughout the cinema. But yeah, I just hated everything about watching that film in the cinema, and it's a shame because it probably would have been one of my favourite films of the year if the experience hadn't been so shit. But the experience was just dog shit. It really was, and there's no other way to put it. I came out of it steaming. Everyone I was with came out of it steaming, and it really put me off. And what was supposed to be a nice fun time, like the return to cinema and everything, was just marred by the absolute shit show that was going and seeing that film in the cinema with a bunch of fucking weebs. Listen, bullies, if you're hearing this, I don't care. Bully people that watch anime. Take it back to how it was back when I was a kid, because I can watch a film respectfully in the cinema. These fuckers can't.
I'm still
Bully
one
them
who
for
will
enjoying
tell
anime.
people to shut the fuck up.
Oh, I did. Don't get me wrong.
Oh wow.
I absolutely did. But
They didn't shut up.
It was just relentless. No, it was like everyone in the cinema.
Ah, shit, man. That's terrible.
Oh, I hated it. I'm actually getting annoyed the more I talk about it, so I'm going to stop.
I would be. I got annoyed about it when I watched Step Brothers and that happened, and that wasn't even a particularly good film. But I was like, I didn't pay. I had a Cineworld card, but I've sat here for 2 hours. Shut up.
Yeah. Oh, it's just like people don't understand. Like, cool. When you're sat at home, talk all you want.
Yeah.
You're in a cinema. We're here to watch the movie, not chat shit. Talk after the end. That's why there's a lobby. You can talk in the lobby.
I did once when we went to see The Spirit, right, which was Frank Miller movie he made after Sin City. I did shout at people to shut the fuck up. About 20 minutes into the movie release, it's so bad I went, do you know what? We're leaving. You guys can start talking again, and we fucked off.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, mate. People talking in cinema fucking sucks. Jason, continue the train of misery.
I'm not that miserable. I'm pretty okay. There's been a few things that upset me. My mum woke up randomly with a detached retina.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Which obviously
Sorry.
is bad. I know, we had to cancel the birthday dinner and everything. Rubbish. And then there was this...
Damn it, you didn't get another subpar overly priced meal.
I know.
Jason's like pissed off. I'm still hungry after that.
Well, obviously lots of big things in the world go wrong. There's shortages and whatever. Anyway, The thing, like the most light-hearted, but thing that made me go, "Oh, that's a shame," was Henry Cavill not coming back for The Witcher. That was just, it was like he's so.
Superman.
He's not a big
Yeah, I
deal in
got
my
a
life.
fucking
Well,
double
he's not just
whammy on
Superman.
that.
I was
He's now
glad about
doing
that,
Warhammer.
actually,
Yeah, he's doing
Apparently.
Warhammer, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go.
But I've never
Fucking nerds
known.
rise up.
I've never known an actor so convincingly talk about his love for something and how he really wanted to do it. This is his dream role and all this business for so long, and be so passionate about something, and then go, "I'm not going to finish it." Which I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm just saying it was just it was just that.
Was it his
I don't
choice,
really react
though?
to things.
No,
But I don't really react to things, and this made me go.
He said
that's a
part
shame.
of the reason is they were going so far away from the source material, he didn't feel comfortable carrying on because it wasn't the thing that he signed on to do. It's probably also partially, I'm going to be Superman again and get all of that money. Maybe I lighten my schedule a bit. Yeah, I'm gutted for him losing The Witcher and then losing Superman. I agree with that.
Yeah. I
And,
suspected he'd come back as Bond, but apparently not. No, it's Warhammer.
Do you know what? Liam Hemsworth... I said this at the time. Liam Hemsworth is a fucking downgrade. Like, as the level of actor that he is, for a start. But if you've got someone as fucking gorgeous as Henry Cavill, you don't replace them with Liam Hemsworth. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you should have got the guy who played Jaime in Game of Thrones. He'd have been a good replacement.
Oh yeah, I see that.
I can't actually say his name, and Rooster Teeth have ruined that for me because at one point they called him Jürgen Schmeckendorf, and that's
I first saw
I know
him
exactly
in
who you're talking
a
about.
movie called Headhunters, which was a bizarre comedy, ultra-violent, horrible Scandinavian comedy thing, where he was he was just trying to kill this nerdy little dweeb. It's very, very funny.
Yeah, because that was the thing, wasn't it? His accent's so thick the second he's not being him.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Sorry, I'll get off topic here.
No, that's fine. I'm done. I wasn't that upset. Generally, I'm okay. It's not that disappointing. It was
That's
just
all right.
I just went, oh. And that's my disappointment for the year. Oh. John.
Yeah, we can all move past England's terrible rugby team at the moment. I know they've just got rid of Eddie Jones, which I don't think is the solution to that. I mean, that's been a pretty horrible year for English rugby. Even kind of like Secret Cinema, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Didn't really enjoy that much. It was a bit of a departure for Secret Cinema. The world building was great, but the kind of the storyline that they gave us to portray in their world, that was a little bit difficult. But I can't really complain too much about it because at the end of the day, the tickets only cost me £10, so that was a score.
Damn. Like,
Wow.
I didn't go to that purely because of the price, and it looked like the time you had to be in there was really short compared to other secret cinemas I've done.
No.
Did it feel that for
It-
you?
No, it was generally pretty good. The thing that I didn't like about it is that you had to get the most out of the experience. You actually had to really follow a plot line and
Yeah.
interact with people. You couldn't just walk into somewhere and experience it.
Okay.
And that was like, yeah, it was a little bit weird. And it's very different from all the other secret cinemas that I've been to, where you just kind of turn up and enjoy everything that the world has to offer. I mean, one of the other biggest disappointments was, losing my team. As I mentioned earlier, Sticky Mangoes was their leaving do, and the outsourced company have been absolutely horrific. But the biggest disappointment of the last year was actually me shitting myself for the first time in 40 years.
I didn't mean to laugh.
Sorry, no, I did. That's
I wasn't
really
expecting
unfortunate.
that, I've got to be honest.
I wasn't.
I kind of wish I weren't going last.
I wasn't feeling well, and I was out, drove home, rushed through the door. Marble wants dinner, so I go upstairs and I'm trying to get past him, and you know when you got that kind of feeling in your gut, and it's like, oh dear,
Yeah.
and I'm having to step around him because he's like, oh meow, 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 like trying to rub against my legs, and
Don't do that
so I'm kind of not exactly, I'm just kind of moving my legs in opposite weird directions to get around here, and I farted and I thought, that wasn't good. Gave him some food, and then I went and sat down on the toilet. Obviously I took my trousers down before I sat on the toilet. I thought, there's shit in my pants. And that was probably the biggest disappointment I've had in myself. So that topped off my head.
Awesome.
Top that, Sean.
I can't. But mine ends on a slightly happier note anyway. My biggest disappointment of the year has been my beloved AEW All Elite Wrestling. From the bullshit backstage with CM Punk being a complete unprofessional dick, to fights, to putting so much fucking Ring of Honor on their programming, to buying too many ex-NXT guys just for the sake of buying it. They lost their way in the middle of this year. Since Full Gear? Yeah, Full Gear was the last pay-per-view at the beginning of the month. They've really turned it back round. Like, the Elite were gone for, 3 months, which, to be fair, did allow Death Triangle with the Lucha Brothers and fucking Pac to go on rampages, which was awesome. But, I don't feel they've been utilising their roster well a year. It's felt very much like shiny new ex-WWE toy, push them for a bit. Even with Jay Lethal, Jay Lethal is a legend. Jay Lethal is a really big name and great kind of guy, but he's doing this Ric Flair shtick.
Whoa, no. Hold on. Black Machismo is one of the greatest gimmicks.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Past,
He's not playing
2
Black
decades.
Machismo though. He's just doing
If he's doing the Ric Flair stuff, then he'd be in Black Machismo. What are you talking about?
He's not doing the Macho Man promos. It's not Black Machismo. But even that's not been that's not been great, and it's just felt unfocused and a mess. And apart the injuries, I should mention the injuries. That's not their fault. But in the meantime, the weird thing is that the Ring of Honor pay-per-views have been incredible. The Briscoe FTR matches are among the greatest wrestling matches I've ever seen in my fucking life, let alone just in AEW / Ring of Honor. But they're righting the ship now, and the second half of this year, I've been really pleased. MJF is now champion. That's a good thing. He's going to have a fight with Daniel Bryan. That's going to be awesome. The Elite are back. They're taking on Death Triangle in a 7-match series. That's all been awesome. So, yeah, the ship has been righted. But my faith was severely shook for about 3 months there. And it didn't help that all of the news coming out around it was so negative. And I saw people I usually interact with saying, oh, well, the matches on AEW are all shit now, which is not true. But
that's not true at all.
They were getting so collared by all of this bad news that they were thinking it was actively a bad product, whereas actually the booking was a bit wonky and they had a lot of backstage shit that did not help, and the Ring of Honor stuff. So yeah, that has been my biggest disappointment, because my love was at such a fever pitch and has been for 3 years, that for it to dip down from an exceptional show to a largely very good show is still a massive dip in quality. But I think we're pretty much getting back up there now. Fucking hell, that Jericho match this week alone was just
the upset,
mind-blowing. The way he structured
We're getting Jericho.
Yeah.
Punished Chris Jericho. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? I actually think you make a really good point. I'm surprised. I'm just being thrown with surprises here throughout this recording. But yeah, I agree with AEW, especially because the lead up to that had to all the big blowout and fallout and everything, had one of my favourite matches in Aussie Open versus the Elite.
Yeah!
Because the story going into that with Kenny and and
Osprey.
the boy from Essex, Osprey,
which have been going on for years, mostly on Twitter and shit.
You've got this beautiful match, and listen, Aussie Open are a fucking incredible tag team. I'd never heard of them before that match, but you better believe I came out of that watching everything that they had put on. We also got that guy come back to wrestling, didn't we? We got a big return, and it happened on AEW. Oh, what was his name? He was out for ages in New Japan. He was one of the three. Tanahashi?
Oh no. Was it Takagi?
Tanahashi.
Shingo Takagi?
Yeah.
Him?
No, not Shinji Takagi. No.
I know
The
who
guy
you mean. Yeah, the guy who
his
had the
brain
career.
come out his nose
Yeah.
because he headbutted someone too much. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had the match
Him,
with Orange
him.
Cassidy.
Yeah. And we had Murder Grandpa in AEW.
Fuck yeah, we did.
Well. It was all going so well, and then it's just the news story that's taken over everything.
Yeah.
And it's shit. CM Punk is his biggest detractor. That man returning to wrestling was one of the biggest highlights the year before.
Yeah.
Of wrestling. And
Right through the match with MJF earlier this year. Like, that feud was fucking gold. And we
That was
found out
great, but he's
after
just-
the time that he was shitting on MJF backstage. It's just,
Yeah, and then also, even then, MJF fucking ruined Wardlow's moment.
Yeah, he
that
did.
Same night.
Yeah.
Like, so, it's a shame AEW's just fallen out. I'm glad Ricky Starks is getting his kick.
Hells yeah, it's about time.
Like you said, they are bringing it back. But
Yep.
yeah, it was just, the fall from grace was heavy.
It really was.
It was heavy, especially with how good WWE have been knocking it out of the park this year. I can't even lie. Since
I think
Vince
that's been
McMahon
greatly
left,
overstated. I think it has gone from
No.
unwatchable to quite good.
No, you're wrong. If you think the Sami Zayn storyline isn't one of the greatest storylines in wrestling at the moment,
No, it absolutely
no,
is. But
yeah.
there's also the other 4.5 hours of TV they have a week. It's the only story that. Well, to be fair, they also have Walter. Walter, who is just the best. That Clash of the Castle match was insane. I loved it. I fucking love two men beating the piss out of each other.
I was actually screaming at the TV, and I just kept screaming, "Sheamus is 47." Like, I cannot believe a man at that age putting on a banger like that. That was such a great
Tell you what,
match.
if you can find it, last year Walter had a match with Ilya Dragunov on
What do you
NXT
mean if I can
UK.
find it? You think I've not watched it twice? And I watched the rematch.
You just said you'd been out of wrestling a bit. I was just making sure that you'd seen it.
but yeah,
Holy
when I say I've
fuck,
been out
that
of
was
wrestling-
amazing.
What I mean is I've not really watched any of the main shows. I
fair.
still make a point to watch like NXT stuff if it's really good.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, I just think AEW's just had a really heavy fall from grace. But the good news is apparently we're getting Walter Brock Lesnar next year. Now, isn't that something nice? Isn't that a treat?
That better be on WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
I'm salivating.
Probably
Not because of
Saudi,
food
but
anymore.
yeah, I will be watching that show.
In the words of Biggie Langston, I just want to see big meaty men slapping the knee. You can have your 5-star technical matches, you can have your high flyers, your Rey Mysterios, your Jeff Hardys. I just want to see two big meaty men slapping the shit out of each other. That's it. I just want hoss fights. It's all I want.
Are you watching that on your own, or? With,
I was going to say, I feel like
other
this is,
meaty men?
I'm watching it with
made
some
a
other
turn.
meaty men. Don't you worry.
But enough about the disappointments of the year. Let's look at the biggest positives. Adam, what's your biggest positive, mate?
So, my biggest positive is I had a really big, proud dad moment in the year. And so my son, my eldest, he's been into football for quite some time. He's always had really quick speed. Like he's really quick. Probably one of the fastest in his year. But he's never quite joined the football with the speed, and he's always been on the struggling side of it. He got into a football team, and he's been doing really well, but it finally clicked into place. This awesome speed he has, like to use it in a football match, and it was a moment where that funny enough they actually lost the match, not by much, but they played so well. His team, this team that I was facing, that they were, God knows what they were feeding them. Jesus, they were
just a team of grown men.
It might as well be. They were huge. This one kid, like, you know, they're meant to be under 11s, and this one kid, he was as tall as me. I mean, I ain't exactly the tallest, but jeez, what are you on? So yeah, like, my son's team like really battled hard, but it was midway through the first half, and we didn't have one of our key defenders. He was off for ill, and my son had been put into left midfield. He's been putting him in midfield to encourage this speed that he has, that he's never quite latched on to using it in a football match. And the other team broke through the defence line, and this whippet of a kid on the other side was sprinting towards this ball. My son had turned around, seen it, and then just started sprinting. He was in the other half, so he was sprinting for his life, it felt like, diagonally across the pitch, and he was overtaking everybody, catching this kid up for leaps and bounds. Overtook this kid, got to the ball first, sprinted back down the other end, crossed it, and the guy headed it in for a corner. It's, you know, didn't go in for a goal, but the moment was absolutely fantastic, and it was just like, I'm so proud right now. I'm such a proud dad. And it was like, yeah, it just finally clicked, and that was it. Like, from that moment on, every time he gets the ball, he's using this speed, and he's doing fantastic runs down the wing, and he's improved his crossing a little bit. It's a bit wayward, but that'll come. But yeah, he's doing really well now, and yeah, that by far, I think, out of everything, that was my biggest positive. That my son is finally happy with his football and he's going in a good direction. So yeah,
that's lovely and wholesome. Cameron, what about you?
See, this is a tough one. I really enjoyed my career actually progressing. I think I've quite enjoyed that. But biggest positive for me this year, and I think it follows on from your biggest negative, is I'm kind of excited to see where WWE is going. I think just this final run, getting rid of Vince, out with the old, in with this new regime, I think has really rejuvenated the product in my eyes. I'm really enjoying the push that Sami Zayn is getting. He's probably the greatest character worker in wrestling at the moment. I'm super excited that Kevin Owens is getting a chance under Vince McMahon, because he's not a traditional. Kevin Owens is an incredible wrestler, but he's not built like what Vince McMahon would fetishize over, so he never got the massive push. And I think that Kevin Owens getting this main event push is going to be incredible. I cannot wait for him to team up with Sami, only to betray Sami immediately, because they're going to do this forever. And the writing might be on the wall, but fuck me, am I going to mark out like a little kid when it happens anyway? I'm going to be shocked and disgusted. I'll be puking and shitting all over the place. Like, it's going to be wild, and I'm going to love every second of it. So I'm just really excited to see where that's going. I think they've just got a really good roster. They're really giving the people that deserve some shine a lot of time to shine, and they're following organic builds. Now, there's an argument to be had about some of it not being great. I mean, Bray Wyatt's return to wrestling's been good, but this Uncle Howdy stuff, I think he just needs to drop the superstitious stuff. I'm happy he's getting the creative freedom, but yeah,
I will
otherwise
be
I'm just
really into the Uncle Howdy stuff when it turns out it's not Bray.
I hope. Oh no, but they just revealed it's not Bray. They just had Bray stood in the ring, and they just had someone else come out as Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, but
yeah, I know what you mean. I hope so much that it's Bo Dallas.
Yeah, I think all of us do. But mate, Cody's going to win the Royal Rumble.
Oh,
That's
listen,
fucking exciting,
don't
isn't
even
it?
get me started. I'm
Cody
so excited
versus
for the Royal
Roman.
Rumble this year.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the Royal Rumble, and I just feel like a kid again. Like I'm having this renaissance of my inner child, and I'm watching wrestling. I'm playing Warhammer, or collecting Warhammer, painting models. I'm just loving it. I'm really just loving it.
Nice, man.
It's my biggest positive. Yeah.
That's great. Jason, top that.
Well, I'm going to go sentimental again. And it is my co-workers, which is, I think it's about time I showed some appreciation for them. So I work in a pharmacy. It's been bloody hard. We are officially the busiest pharmacy within our company in the country.
Congratulations,
You
your
weren't busy when I
company's
went in,
telling you. Your company's telling you you're overworked and they're going to do nothing about it.
I'm not talking about the bosses, I'm talking about the co-workers. We've gone through this pandemic. Well, we're still technically going through it. We've still everything's still in place for the pandemic as it is at the moment. There's whole antibiotic shortages, all that sort of stuff. There's lots of people moaning at you, whinging at you all day long, but some lovely people as well. But generally, I think we've got a good team together now, and there's not much time to talk to each other, but we've got a nice little shorthand where we keep each other up and going. And it's so I just want to raise my non-hot chocolate mug to them and say, good on you. Let's go ahead to next year. It's been a good year. Well, it's been a shit year actually, but we've had a good time and we had a nice. That was one of the Christmas meals we went out of, and that was a good one. So, yeah, my biggest positive this year is just the group around me at work, because that's who I spend most of my time with. So it's quite nice when they're actually good people, and they are.
Oh, cool.
That's very nice. John,
I know.
what have you got, mate?
Well, biggest positive is definitely Korean fried chicken. No, just I can't say enough about the friends and the family that I have in my life, and and my colleagues at work. Not all of them, but I do consider at least 2 or 3 of them, close friends and even family. And even my immediate family, even though he's got a fluffy tail, big ears, and just wants food all the time. But obviously, we forget so many things that which are positives. Even the friends that we can return to after not seeing them for a long time. I recently got in touch with somebody who I've not seen in 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And just the ability to talk to them again and see how they're getting on with their lives. But overridingly, the biggest positive is Pac-Man 256. You can't really say much more than that. 12,000 views, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, 12 well over that.
Excellently done.
And my cat has learnt to play with one of his cat toys and get food out of him. And he's just playing with it now. He's smashing it around with his paws. Good boy.
Alright, come on, John.
Yeah, finish us off, dude.
Yeah, go on, finish me off.
I'm not finishing any of you guys off.
Whoa.
Oh,
You'd like to call John.
no, I don't want to call him. I'm talking to him.
Who'd you like to call?
No one. The fuck? Sorry about that. I don't. You know what? I genuinely don't understand how it even figured out
Guest
your name from that, John. But it did.
It was a guest speaker there.
Call John.
But it's just not what I said at any point either.
Well, my biggest positive is related to my best activity, which is returning to live music, because up to COVID and all of that first lockdown and everything, a large part of the gig going experience that I loved so much was going with friends. And historically, if my friends weren't going, I wouldn't go. But this year, and a little bit last year, I've been more on the side of finding a peace and a confidence within myself to go to do these things I want to do on my own. And meet people there, dance with them, sing with them, chat with them, buy merch with them, and just get out of my comfort zone a lot more and not miss the thing I want to do because I haven't got a mate to go do it with, and just go and do it and be comfortable in myself doing it. And that's something I've struggled with for a very, very long time, and it's been really wonderful to not have to miss things for a internal concern that something's going to go wrong or something's going to be bad about the experience, and actually just go and have a whale of a time. So yeah, finding a level of inner peace and a confidence to go out to these things on my own is my biggest positive of the year. It's been something I've wanted for a long time and worked on, and I'm very, very happy that it's here.
That's awesome. Inner peace.
Nice.
It's pretty damn good.
I like that.
It's pretty sweet. And this brings us round to most excited for 2023. What are we all looking forward to in the coming year? Adam, go ahead, mate.
So, as my biggest disappointment was a BQ delivery for my house, what I'm most excited for is the fact that I finished my house and I am moving. And so that means I get to draw a line under everything over here and move to an area that's closer to my family, closer to friends, closer to my son's school, so I don't have to drive over half an hour every single journey and then half an hour back.
Is it closer to the South End B&Q?
Hell no. Further away. It's been a long saga. There was points where we ran out of money to do it, and there was points where I was working till like 10 p.m. in the winter months in the dark with like a tiny little light outside. It's been a long struggle, so I am really excited for the new year and to move into a new house and start a new chapter. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm glad you're moving house as well.
Getting the riff-raff out of the neighbourhood.
No, he's moving back here so we can actually go and play football.
Yeah, yeah, a lot closer. Yeah.
Very nice. Cameron, what have you got on the horizon?
I can give a soppy answer, which is hopefully getting a house with my partner. I'm really looking forward to doing that next year. But
Nice.
if we're being 100% honest, the thing that eclipses all hype is fucking Armored Core 6. I'd be a liar after the way I spoke about that game. I'd be a liar if I said that wasn't the thing I'm most excited for. You do not understand. Listen, nobody understands how much that game means to me, how much that series means to me, and the fact that I'm getting a 6th game after the success of Elden Ring and people are going to be playing it means, and I mean this with the utmost seriousness, that my climb to the top 500 is going to be even easier now than it ever was before. Because listen, getting top 500 in Armored Core 4 and 5 was a crowning achievement for me. Getting it in 6, curb stomping noobs, and just generally being toxic online, I cannot wait. Like, you don't understand. It's a game I am just so good at. I just understand how it works, the fundamentals. You could ask me to build, like, any IKEA furniture, and I would not understand it as well as I understand the intricacies of setting up a robot to lean in a certain direction with counterbalance weights, applying different cores so that the movement changes and everything, the turn speed, all of that tuning. I just understand it. I'm struggling to come up with words to explain how excited I am for this fucking game next year. I'm just so excited for this game. I'm no-lifing it. Like, if when you come to do this next year, if you bring me back, it's going to be my answer for everything. It's going to be really boring, but that's the truth. That's me.
Jason.
Awesome. I I don't know. I was looking up what's coming out next year to see if I was interested or excited for anything at all. And there's films coming out, but to be honest, I haven't seen any after films this year. So chances I'll be watching the films and shows you've been talking about in this podcast or whatever next year, because I looked at what's coming out next year, and it's nearly all sequels to things I've not seen yet.
I think they're
Generally
rushing the Ghostbusters sequel. I think that's out for next Christmas,
Oh, I didn't see that.
which
on my
seems
list.
a bit it's a bit concerning to me. But anyway,
I
sorry.
don't know. That came out a while back, didn't it? I quite like that film. so
Yeah,
I'd
it's
watch
just
another
that
one of those.
nothing's really done on it yet.
Okay. If I'm honest, the thing I'm really, really looking forward to is in January. I've got a week off, and that's I'm just driving towards that. And if I can make it there without having made any plans, I'll be so happy. That's all I want.
Literally
week
just
off
about to
with
ask
no
what
plans.
week.
I'm not going to
Plan
tell you.
something
I'm not
with
even
you.
sure. It's in January at some point. And I'm getting
I've never seen someone get
towards-
curved so efficiently.
I hate getting to a week off and having 20 odd plans that I have to fit into it and going, no, that's it. That's that week written off then. I just like to have nothing to do because I've not been bored for 30 odd years. There's always something to be getting on with. I'd much rather just chill out and fill that time with coasting along. So that's what I want.
You know what?
I want to
That's
do nothing.
partly why I take 2 weeks off at Christmas. The first week, family, friends, all that nonsense. The second week, I can lay in bed for a day and watch 10 hours of fucking Wrestle Kingdom from New Japan. It's wonderful.
Oh.
I just want that option.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's all I want from life. No demands. And I'm not high pressurised people. I haven't got kids. I haven't got sick relatives. No, I haven't even got a pet. So there's no one really demanding stuff from me. But somehow I've always got stuff to do. And I'd much rather have nothing to do. So that's what I want. That's what I'm looking forward to. Having nothing to do.
You should treat yourself to
Nice.
like one of those immersion tank things. I think you like that.
Do you know what?
Sensory
I literally was
deprivation.
thinking
Yeah,
of doing
yeah.
that yesterday. I saw a video of it yesterday and I thought, I'm going to do that. So I might well do that. That's this
I
year.
think you should.
Next year, my either biggest disappointment or biggest positive will be immersion tanks.
I'm
I
like-
just get locked in there and I can't get out. No one lets me out. Oh, no,
I've
it won't be
honestly
in.
considered it, but it's either going to be a revelatory experience or I'm going to descend into a pit of madness from which I can never claw my way out of. So,
Well, if you want to break your newfound passion of inner peace and go into things on your own, we'll go to a isolation tank. Not in together, obviously. That defeats the purpose. But if we've got two separate
you get to be Little
next to
Spoon.
each other.
I will do that. That sounds lovely. And or
Yeah,
terrifying.
well, that's the plan. Well, I've changed it. That's what I'm doing. Isolation.
We're
tank
not
for
doing it on your week
2023.
off.
No, I'm not telling you when that is. I'll do it during work.
John, what have you got, mate?
Do you know what? I haven't really given it much thought. I'd quite like to not work so hard, and actually spend some time actually at home. And that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to is spending more time with my friends and my cat. One slightly negative thing is that I'm really, really looking forward to some dude at work getting fired. Because he makes my life incredibly difficult.
Are you going to be there with popcorn, like watching out the window?
Well,
Do you
yeah,
get to do it? Do you get to
No,
fire
I
that?
don't. He doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
He doesn't work for me, but he affects my workload. In so much that I have to do his job for him. But the thing that I'm most looking forward to is hopefully not shitting myself again.
You can't rule it out.
No, I can't.
You've broken the seal, as they say. So you know, it could happen.
Sean, are you looking forward to not shitting yourself?
No, I'm not fussed either way, to be honest.
Not the bloody
My,
isolation tank, you're not.
I had a good look at everything next year, and there's a lot I'm looking forward to. But I just could not, when I had to actually put something down, I can't get past the fact that my favourite band, Paradise Lost, who did a electronic album 20 odd years ago, well, 23 or 4 years ago, have now got a side project of doing electronic stuff. They've released 2 songs, which I love. I've I paid to pre-order the album and a t-shirt for it, and I just can't wait till the end of February when this album releases, and then hopefully they announce a tour and I get to see them live, because I'm already seeing them live as Paradise Lost, so I get to see my favourite band live, or my favourite band and their spin-off thing twice. What I'm excited for is my favourite band may technically now be my 2 favourite bands. It's so unbelievably exciting if they're going to go ahead and like release this horrible like gothic metal dirgy screamy shit one year, and the next is going to be just this over the top melodramatic gothy synth pop. Then I'm going to be in absolute heaven. And that all comes at the first album finally comes at the end of February, and I can't fucking wait. It's called Host. I'm so excited. I am so crazy excited in a way I haven't been for a band's release in frickin' years. Although, to be fair, I should have been for this year's White Lies album, because holy shit is that amazing. But yeah, Host, Paradise Lost.
Well, at least you know.
Project.
Well, at least you know what your category for best music is going to be next year.
Oh yeah, almost certainly, yeah. Does anyone have anything further to add?
Listen, I'm coming back to the channel and I'm recording an entire playthrough of Armored Core 6, and if you really want me to, I will carry the sole burden of recording all the games up until that point as well. Because more is wild, and I just don't think you understand how much I like them. I've just sent a picture or an article in the chat that shows the grip that you used to. It's a bit of a joke, but the old controls, you didn't actually have access to everything unless you held the controller like that.
Right.
And like this speaks to the insanity of this game.
Is that the series that once released that massive pad that was like literally the control panel for a mech?
That's Mech Warrior.
Ah,
that's fair.
That shit was
That's a
insane.
good shout. It's not as great as Armored Core though.
Holy crap!
but-
You're holding it like backwards and everything. Jeez.
Yeah, boy. There was also a really great game called I can't remember what it's called, but you are the president of the United States and you get in a mech suit, and it's like an indirect part of this series of games, and you just save the world as the president of the United States. But I think it's like Metal Wolf Panic or something like that, or Metal Wolf Chaos, I think, and it's unreal. And this better be all of your games of the years as well.
Oh, wow.
Into it. I'm telling you.
Okay, so with Cameron's very confident statement that all of his picks for next year are going to be Armored Core 6, I thank you very much for listening to this. I thank each and every dino who's decided to come and participate in this. So thank you, Adam.
Yo.
Thank you, Cameron.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Jason.
No, thank you.
And thank you, John.
Dan sucks.
We have been the Iron Dinos.
Whoa.
Oh.
Thank you, Sean, for taking us through this and being the host.
Yeah, cheers, dude.
Sounds like Cameron sucks. Sure.
I'll suck yours if you're not careful.
Cheers, Sean.
Yeah, you've done a fantastic job, dude. Well done.
Happy New Year and goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.
And don't forget to watch more Pac-Man.
Don't forget
watch
to
more
watch
Pac-Man,
fucking Pac-Man.